Sit down, be humble. Sit down. Who that thinking that he frontin' on women? Get the off my stage, I'm the semen. Get the off my, that ain't right. I make a play blowing up your whole life. I'm so sick and tired of the Photoshop. Show me something natural like Afro with your pride. Show me something natural.
And welcome in Out of Bounds here on 103.7 The Buzz. Appreciate everybody listening in on this beautiful day here in the great state of Arkansas. John Nabors, Joe Franklin, broadcasting live from the Hoggs Meat Market Studios with you today. And thank you as always for making us a part of your afternoon this afternoon. It is a Trash Talk Thursday here on Out of Bounds. We want to hear from you. If you want to get in on our conversation today, it's simple to do because you can call or text in 501-661-1037. Get after us in the Asher Record Live fan feedback. After me on Twitter at BuzzJohnNabors. And today, going to have a great show for you planned out because in the 3 or 2 o'clock hour, should start there, we're going to have Pat Bradley, thanks to Motorsports Authority. Looking forward to catching up with him. Also going to have Aaron Torres of Fox Sports Radio in the 3 o'clock hour. Didn't get a chance to catch up with him last week, but we will this week, so we'll have some fun with him. And we're going to go through all the things that are happening in the sports world, which is a ton of it. And, of course, we'll get to your phone calls and text messages as all that plays out and goes forward. So it's been great, though. It's been great to, as you heard in the intro, and people celebrating the Texas Rangers winning their very first World Series of all time. And the celebrations commencing and seeing the excitement from not only people that are in the Dallas metro, but just fans across the entire country and even here in the state of Arkansas. And I've always enjoyed seeing history in sports, and especially if it's not even a team that I care one way or the other about, like with the Rangers or about the Diamondbacks. I wouldn't have cared either way, but to see the Rangers get the World Series championship, having their first one, that's always pretty unique. And I think it's really cool for all the fans that are out there that you get to celebrate with it. And I think Matt McLaren, who was on our show just a couple weeks ago out of Dallas, he growing up a diehard Rangers fan his whole life and seeing the way he's been celebrating and having a good time, it's been pretty cool. So that was an awesome thing last night to not only see the Rangers win, but just to see the history made and see the reactions for so many fans.
They completed the championship run with the city, so now they have championship in all 4 major sports with the Rangers getting that win. And then Corey Seager, by being a 2-time World Series MVP, he's the only player to win it in both leagues.
How about that? Yeah, he was a monster. And, of course, his time with the Dodgers and having that success for him to go to the Rangers and keep it moving and to win another World Series title, I know was very special to him. And, yeah, I thought it was just a cool moment. And I even saw, I think Wes showed me before our show started, that the Vegas Sphere had given their, paid homage and celebration to the Rangers, where the Sphere was a Texas Rangers baseball, but with a logo of the Rangers on it. And
do they pay homage, or do the Rangers pay to have that done?
Probably more of that.
We know that the advertising cost for the Sphere is ridiculous per day, and then even when you go to the week and the 2-week rate.
I mean, maybe they give them some trade. Maybe a little bit of a discount. I don't know, but
no, it is a cool display.
Oh yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool, and I'm sure there'll be many things like that happening at the Vegas Sphere. And I couldn't help it though. Like last night when I was, seeing the game and watching the celebrations and all of that. One of the things that cracked me up though was not only seeing just I don't know. It's just weird seeing when you see a championship won in someone else's ballpark, because then it's just the fans for the other team are just devastated and nobody's going crazy in the crowd, which I know is common. It's not like it's something new, but to see just the Rangers players going out there and then those random Rangers fans in the stands, they go, and then other fans are just like, all right, we're out. We're walking out and just go home sad. I think it's just a funny, weird thing to see where it's at you get to celebrate it in someone else's ballpark. They'll take it no matter what, but seeing the fan shots are always really funny.
You see more visiting fans making those trips these days, and so whenever they do win games, not only championships, but win some of these primetime games, when you think about like Monday Night Football or some of the games where fans will stick around because they do these post-game interviews, it's common now where they'll pull a player from the winning team and they'll have them on set. And then you see all the opposing fans that stick around and they're there to cheer on the player that's on set. So it's become a really common theme for some of those road fans. And for fans in general to make some of those road trips now.
Well, if you think of Rob Manfred, too, with the commissioner, people were giving him a hard time because of how he announced that the Rangers were World Series champions because, he had a little voice struggle there.
63 years is a long time to wait, but the Texas Rangers are World Series champions. It's my distinct pleasure to present the Commissioner's Trophy to Ray Davis, Neil Liebman, and Chris Young.
So, yeah, he had a little voice crack there. And,
he's been doing some
times.
yelling.
Yeah, it's either yelling or he's been sick. So, I love the boos in the background, too, because, of course, he's going to get booed when he gets up there. All commissioners do. But I love the voice cracking thing and having to stand there. Someone said it's like that's what I imagine if like a sixth grader, was presenting it when they're going through puberty and their voice is cracking. It's like that's what it would sound like. But other than that, no, it was good. It was a good overall postseason, and seeing those two teams there, we know.
How about the Rangers also going undefeated on the road in the postseason?
Yeah, like that's that. Some teams just thrive under pressure when they go on the road, but talk about home field advantage. They didn't have to worry about that too much if you're the Rangers.
So they set the all-time record. They broke the all-time record, and then they just continued to extend that record, and they won 11 games on the road, 11-0 in the postseason.
That's incredible. Again, it shows the resilience that they have, and also the toughness that they brought, and dealing with some of the injuries that they had to deal with, and everything. Like they got it done. So kudos to them, and congratulations to them, and congratulations to all you Rangers fans out there. I know Wes Moore was really excited today, and got a chance to talk to him about it. And also Peyton Stovall, who comes on with us each and every year during baseball season.
Is he a Rangers fan?
He's not a Rangers fan, but he was at the game last night.
Okay, good
and
deal.
So
good.
he I think he just enjoys baseball and likes watching players, but he was there, and he got to celebrate it. And he started posting on his Instagram story. I have to give him a hard time about this. He's posting on his Instagram story of like a congratulations to the Rangers and all that stuff. So I'm like, are you a Rangers fan now? Or are you just doing it because it's like, hey, it's the World Series and shout out to them?
Just congratulating the champs there, just being a baseball player. And, that's cool experience that he was able to go to the World Series.
Yeah.
R.J. Hawk, Randy Rainwater, they went to the World Series. David Basil, and R.J. is a Rangers fan, so that was a good experience for him and for all the guys here at the station to be able to make that trip and be able to see the opening games of the World Series.
Now, since the city of Dallas or the Dallas Metro have, as you mentioned, won all the four major sports there for a championship, you know who's next for Dallas? The one that's gone the longest now, the Dallas Cowboys. It's y'all's turn. It's been a while. You gotta step up and do your share. You have to do your part to help out and keep those championships coming. The Mavericks got 2 since you've gotten 1. I mean, the Rangers finally got theirs. Stars have gotten theirs, so it's up to y'all. This might be the year for Dallas, the Cowboys, to finally get it done. But because when with the Stars, the Stars have won it fairly recently in hockey.
I think it was around 99, 2000.
Oh, is that far away? Okay.
Around there.
Why did I think they had won one recently? I don't know.
They
I don't
may
hockey.
have won more recently than that.
Yeah. I do remember the one you're talking about. Maybe that they played in it. I don't know. I don't watch hockey. I'll just be honest. But still, I think.
You start watching hockey. Hockey's a great sport.
I know. I need to. I watch the. Here's the thing. I will watch the Stanley Cup Finals, but I won't watch regular season. I don't know who's who. I don't know who to keep up with. But what's funny is actually what got me kind of watching it is I have a buddy of mine who lives in Dallas, and one of his best friends is a hockey player, and what's funny about it is his best friend's from Alabama, and now Alabama they don't do hockey, that's not a thing that's there as much, but. He moved to Chicago, I guess, and I think it was when he moved up there in high school, or was it college? I think it was college. Yeah, it was college. He moved up there in high school and then started playing hockey and then developed to where he could go pro. So he got this guy from Alabama playing hockey. And so when he started getting into it, then, he talked to us about it, and then we started getting into it and watching a little bit. Because, he was telling me how he went to his buddy's wedding that was in hockey. He's like, dude, it was so many beautiful people that were there at that deal, and so many, professional athletes and college buddies and all of that. But
now, what's this guy's name?
It just escaped me. I'm gonna have to remember. I know he plays for Minnesota. I think it's the Wild. Is Minnesota the Wild?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's Minnesota Wild. He did play for Nashville, the Predators, but he got traded up there. I think it was last year, or the year before. Plays for the Wild. I'll have to go into it and look it up and see who it is. But, so he's big in hockey, and I've gotten big in hockey. And I need to go to a hockey game. That's something I got to cross off my bucket list.
That's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, it just looks fun. Like the amount, like when the goal gets scored and you hear the big, buzzer go, places going nuts. And
they've been scoring a lot more goals lately, too. Some of these scores you see that flash across, and it's like 7-4. And, hockey, you didn't really think of it as being high scoring like that, but that's pretty high scoring for hockey.
So can we use the same excuse that like sometimes baseball do? Like the pucks are different now, or the hockey sticks are different now. The goals are bigger. What's the excuse that
athletes
you can use?
Are bigger, faster, stronger, which they are.
They are, yeah. But still the goals, same size, I believe. Still got to get it in there. But, yeah, goals are fun. Scoring's fun. Offense is fun. So, yeah, I'll try to make my way to hockey. Either Dallas or, Nashville is not far away either to go and see the Preds.
About the same distance.
So, I'll have to pick and choose which one I'd rather go to and check out. But yeah, it's cool to see, anytime championships are won. Now baseball season's officially over. Hit to the off season and look towards the next year, which I saw in the early going. The Braves are the early betting favorite to win it all next year.
Of course they are.
So, and I think of and also it depends on the whole Ohtani situation too. And
Ohtani he's going to be batting. He's not going to be pitching next year.
Yeah, that's true. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, but he's still in doubt though, as far as he could still go somewhere else, right? Is that still in play? Like a trade, something maybe?
I don't know. The fact that the Angels held on to him, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I don't care where he goes.
Because he's in line for a new contract, and the fact that they held on to him says that they want him around.
Why wouldn't you?
But his contract will take a hit as far as the money he was going to make because he's not able to do some of the same things right out of the gate. Maybe they'll put some incentives in to say, okay, this is what it is, and then whenever you can return to form pitching, if that happens, the money escalates from there.
Yeah, I guess you're just going to have to handle his hitting only. You can't have his hitting and his pitching, so you're just going to have to deal with it. But we got a lot more Out of Bounds here on a Trash Talk Thursday. Phone calls and text messages coming up next, so stay with us on Out of Bounds.
Tune in to 103.7 The Buzz as Justin Acree and Wes Moore broadcast live from each meeting of the Little Rock Touchdown Club, brought to you by Arkansas Urology. Justin and Wes will broadcast live from the Doubletree downtown, bringing you interviews with each speaker and their comments to the club live. Monday, the Little Rock Touchdown Club welcomes SEC Network's Alyssa Lane. That's The Zone live at the Little Rock Touchdown Club, brought to you by Arkansas Urology.
This is Sports Center.
The college basketball world lost a legendary coach yesterday as Bob Knight passed away at the age of 83. Knight started coaching in 1965 at Army when he was only 24 years old. He's mostly remembered for his time at Indiana, where he coached from 1971 to 2000. He won 3 national championships in that time in 1976, 1981, and 1987. He compiled a 662 and 239 record at Indiana. He finished his career at Texas Tech, where he coached from 2001 to 2008. He took the Red Raiders to 4 NCAA tournaments and 1 Sweet 16. As a head coach overall, he had a record of 902 wins and 371 losses. He's 6th all-time in wins in college basketball. I'm Christian Weaver with the Buzz Radio Network.
If you're looking for the best deal on a pre-owned vehicle, you'll find it here in Hot Springs on Central Avenue at Motorsports Authority, here with Wild Bill and Magic Mark. These are some fantastic deals, guys.
Hey, Magic Mark, tell us about some of these special rigs you got sitting here.
We've got cars for every taste. Cars, trucks, SUVs. This is the best selection of inventory we've had in the past 2 years. More for your trade? Yes. Payments for every budget? Yes.
Online at MSAstore.com. We'll see you at Motorsports Authority.
What are you waiting for?
Did you know Arch Marine is the kayak leader in Central Arkansas? Right now, get 20% off all feel-free kayaks. All the prices are falling on kayaks this month. Don't forget, we repair ATVs. Your granddaddy trusted Arch Marine, and so can you.
Save on stuff you really need and stuff you bought for fun. Stuff you've always really wanted this holiday at Amazon. Stuff that is discounted if you're naughty or you're nice. Stuff to buy your grandma who drinks her Chardonnay with ice. Stuff to make you big and strong. Stuff we can't name in this song. Stuff for lawns and decking halls. Save big on stuff at Amazon. Stuff.
Jim Gaffigan here with some more Straight Talk. Now you can get a Walmart Plus membership, plus not pay for it, because it's included with Straight Talk wireless plans. You get free delivery with Walmart Plus a Paramount Plus subscription included. Plus, you pay less for gas. That's a lot of pluses.
Only Straight Talk gives you unlimited 5G data and Walmart Plus included on select plans for free.
Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart.
Requires service on Gold or Platinum Unlimited. One offer per eligible account. Paramount Plus Essential Plan only. Separate registration required. Additional terms apply.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
See Gary Elmore in Lone Oak, Justin Stewart in Malvern, or Drew Self in Hot Springs.
At Southern Floor Coating, coatings are all they do, and they won't be beat on price. Factory-trained installers using the purest form of polyurea with UV stability for all your outside projects. When you call, you'll talk with a professional interested in your project, not a voicemail. Don't trust a fly-by-night company that may not be in business next year. Transform your patio, porch, or pool deck and call the real pros at Southern Floor Coating. 501-402-4912 or take a look at southernfloorcoating.com.
Fence Brokers presents Zach Williams every Tuesday when he gets in the zone with Justin and Wes to talk about what's happening on the Hill and what to expect from this week's big game. Zach Williams in the zone from Fence Brokers, going the extra mile.
Scott Graham here from Westwood One. Coming up on Thursday Night Football, Derrick Henry and the Titans travel to Pittsburgh to face the 4-3 Steelers. Tennessee at 3-4 is coming off a win, while Mike Tomlin's squad needs a bounce-back win to stay above 500. Kevin Kugler and Ross Tucker call the action on air and on the free live stream sponsored by AutoZone on Thursday Night Football.
Right here on 103.7 The Buzz.
Score early this NFL season with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. That's $150 if your team wins. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. The app is so easy to use, there's a wide range of betting options, spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. So visit FanDuel.com/win and kick off the NFL season. That's FanDuel.com/win. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
Must be 21 plus in President State where lawful to wager. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino LLC. First online real money wager only $5 pregame moneyline wager required. First online real money wager only $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG in Colorado, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Virginia. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342 in Arizona, 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. 1-800-9-WITH-IT in Indiana, 1-800-522-4700 visit ksgamblinghelp.com in Kansas. 1-877-770-STOP in Louisiana. Visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net in West Virginia or call 1-800-522-4700 in Wyoming. Help is here. Visit gamblinghelpma.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York.
Want to voice your opinion so you don't have to hear the same terrible callers every day?
Are you behind on your credit card bills? Good. Pick up the phone and start dialing. Is your landlord ready to evict you? Good. Pick up the phone and start dialing. Does your girlfriend think you're a worthless loser? Good. Pick up the phone and start dialing.
Then call or text 501-661-1037 to help the cause. You're listening to Out of Bounds with John Nabors and Joe Franklin.
I got to ask, because I've always wondered, why did that happen in Fayetteville, Arkansas? What took you there? It's just so weird. It's
visiting friends,
okay.
But yeah, Dixon Street.
Dixon Street?
Yeah, Dixon Street was, it'll get you.
On 103.7 The Buzz.
It's Trash Talk Thursday here on Out of Bounds. Appreciate everybody listening in this afternoon. As talked a little bit about the World Series and the Rangers taking care of business in that, but also some pretty sad news that, of course, everybody should know about at this point in time, considering how legendary he was. But Bob Knight, the college basketball coach, announced last night even, that he passed away at the age of 83. And for those of you who were fans of college basketball, you definitely know who Bob Knight is. But when it comes to iconic, legendary people of their respective sport and respective league, in college basketball, Bob Knight is definitely one of those, if not the one that you think of when it comes to iconic coaches with big personalities and a lot of success. So it was really sad to see the passing of Bob Knight last night.
He did it as a coach. He did it as a commentator. And just, you think about the person that he was, and he had his moments where he would lash out, whether it was through a basketball game, coaching it, or if it was through the media. And he kind of became one of those guys, you let him be who he was and do his own thing, because the sweaters that he would wear, that was out of the ordinary for TV, but that was kind of a staple of Bob Knight. And so whenever he was on TV, he's still wearing the sweater that he always wore.
Because he won the Olympics, right, as the coach?
Yes.
Back there, too.
Yeah.
So
Joe Klein was on the team.
That's right.
Michael Jordan.
That's right. Yeah, I've heard of him. He's pretty good. Think about that, and then the fact that it was the last time that there was an undefeated national champion. It was Bob Knight's team there in Indiana. And did he win? It was 3 national championships I think he ended up winning in Indiana total?
At least.
Yeah, he ended up with over 900 wins, so definitely iconic. And, it's one of those things to where, like, for instance, Coach K, and this is not anything bad, which Coach K was a disciple of Bob Knight's, but, Coach K is leader in all wins and, iconic and mounted championships and everything. But as great as he was as a coach, I didn't ever see him as like a big personality. That's what makes Bob Knight so unique, is not only did he have the success to go with it, but, throwing the chair across the court and, making fun of the media, or, sometimes he went over the line, we know, with some of the off the court and the way he treated his players and stuff. But there was a guy that had a lot of funny moments and funny comments, and we'll play a compilation of some of those here in a bit. But just a guy that was able to balance the big personality with a lot of success to go along with it. And he did it at Indiana for the most part, but even at Texas Tech, he had some success too when he was there for 7 years.
It just shows the type of coach that he was, to be able to take something that he had always worked for him, especially, at Indiana, and then be able to take that with him to Texas Tech. And then he had the coaches that were on staff with him, and they had a lot of success. So it shows that his coaching style was something that worked, and he was able to pass that along to others.
What I thought was cool, too, and I think this was mentioned maybe on ESPN, but the movie Hoosiers with Gene Hackman, the character that Gene Hackman played in that was based a lot around Bobby Knight. Because for those of you who may not remember, in Hoosiers, the reason that Gene Hackman's character had to go to the high school ranks is because he had been accused of physically assaulting a player, and so he had to kind of go down. So there was that, and then also the movie, I believe it was Blue Chips. People said that there was a lot of for Nick Nolte's character, some traits that were taken from Bobby Knight and put into him.
He had a similar appearance, Nick Nolte, to Bob Knight.
Because he didn't have the sweater vest, but I think he wore a sweater in general there, maybe. I don't know. I have to go back. It's been a while since I watched that movie. But didn't they play each other in, like, the big game at the end of the movie? They actually had, like, Bob Knight in Indiana.
Yeah, he was in Blue Chips also.
Yeah, he was in Blue Chips, and I wanted to say there's another coach that was in there. But, yeah, still, there was a lot of Hollywood type of inspiration taken from Bobby Knight when it comes to those movies. So just a larger-than-life, big character with a lot of great quotes, a lot of great moments, and a lot of great success in the game of basketball. There's no question about that. All right, let's go ahead and go to the phone lines. Welcome in Brent in Stuttgart, having us lead us off. What's going on, Brent?
What's going on, John? Glad to see that you made it back from the Halloween party yesterday on your Locked On Razorback.
Yeah, made it back.
Who had the best costume there?
Man, because here's the thing. To me, best is always someone who goes and puts in the most effort most of the time. Like, I mean, there's stuff that's unique, but as far as the one that I felt like got the most effort, I think it might have been Devo, because the whole Michael Myers, he went all out, like with the outfit, with the mask, with the different props to go with it too. So either him or I probably would say Jeremiah Davenport going as Woody was pretty funny, because he also went all out and it looked pretty good on him. So yeah, I'd say either one of those guys.
Okay, but my question is, what do we? Did y'all hear that your fearless leader on the previous show gave Wes 25 to 1 odds that we'd go undefeated the last 4 games. Did y'all hear that?
Sure did.
25 to 1 odds to go undefeated. So
Four straight.
He was Justin was saying
The
that
last 4 games.
Yeah. Justin was saying that they are going to do it or not going to do it.
Justin was saying that they were going to do it.
Okay, he says they're going to do it, and he was going to give Wes odds on it. No, that's not a bet that I would take. Even at 25 to 1, no.
That is not a sensible bet. But I did hear on one of your shows the other day, there was a guy at Saracen that put $25,000 on the Rangers to win the World Series.
Wow,
that was a nice payoff.
No doubt.
Yeah, wouldn't you think? So, what do you guys think of this game coming up Saturday?
Well, I mean, I can tell you, it's until Arkansas proves otherwise that the offense is improved, which I don't know why they would be, or at least enough to go down there. I'm not expecting them to win, but something I was looking at when it came to both these teams and just looking at the stats and where they rank, what might help Arkansas, and this would be the one thing that could really help them out tremendously, is that Florida has a terrible turnover margin. They don't get teams to turn the ball over, and they do turn it over a bit. And Arkansas is one of the better teams in turnover margin in the conference. And to me, if you could put your offense in the best case scenario in the situations plus field with Cam Little there, if they can't get in the end zone, they can at least make field goals. But to me, that would be the best chance for Arkansas. But I don't feel good about it. I don't feel good about Arkansas going in there and winning. It's a tough place to be.
I don't feel good about the rest of the season. Hey, Joe, what was KD Williams' son's name that plays for the Las Vegas Knights, the hockey team?
I just had his name not long ago. Yeah. Gosh, I'll have to look it up for you. I know it right away.
If you look that up and just mention it on the air where I'd have it for some future reference, I'd appreciate
Keegan
it.
Kolazar.
Keegan. What's his last name?
Kolazar?
Keegan. Okay. Gotcha. All right. Thank y'all.
I appreciate it, Brent. Thanks for calling in. Also, by the way, the guy that was my buddy's hockey player friend, it's Ryan Hartman's his name.
Ryan Hartman. Okay.
So,
that sounds familiar.
Yeah, for Minnesota. So, he's about 29 years old. But, yeah, it's I don't know. Like, as far as the game this weekend, we're going to hear some from Sam Pittman as he talked at his coach's show and some of the updates there. But, it's hard for me to just believe that Arkansas is going to win the game. I think Saracen still has them as a 6-point underdog. It's been moving a little bit, but I won't bet on this game. But I will say that if Arkansas miraculously gets an offense going, then yeah, maybe. But until I see it, I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to believe it.
No, there's nothing that has pointed to them having success on offense all season, and now they made this change, and that's not going to fix everything. So it's kind of a wait-and-see approach for them.
And another, again, just looking at positives from the numbers, if you're trying to find anything that you can look at, another thing that might be beneficial to Arkansas is that Florida is dead last in sacks. Like they do not get sacks on the quarterback. Dead last in the conference. And
where does Arkansas rank giving up sacks?
Well, that's what I was going to say, is that they give up they're 11th in sacks allowed. But on the other side of it, though, the sacks allowed by Florida is 12th in the SEC, and Arkansas gets the quarterback 5th in the SEC in sacks. So
advantage Arkansas there,
right?
But yeah, you would expect that Florida would maybe do a little bit better in getting to the quarterback in this game.
You would think so. I mean, because they've only they're averaging 1.2 sacks a game is what Florida's averaging at this point. So, yeah, I'm just saying, like, that could be something to maybe where you don't have to worry about, you're not going up against a defense that just eats quarterbacks alive. Like, maybe with this new type of offense, the quicker moving offense, you can find some success in keeping KJ upright, maybe.
Maybe Arkansas is running the ball effectively, and you don't have to worry about him dropping back in the pass.
That would be nice, especially if Rocket Sanders is going to be good to go, which it looks like there's the case. So, that could be maybe a positive, and also – Florida's offensive line has been pretty rough as far as even running the ball, too. So it's almost like there's some similarities between these two teams. The offensive line has struggled, and they give up a lot of sacks. So we'll see if any of that changes. I doubt it will, but I still think it's going to come over to making mistakes and what Arkansas's offense is going to look like. Like, is it going to miraculously get better? I don't think so, but can it be slightly improved? Can it be a little bit better? Can it be one that can makes the players feel good about it and feel comfortable in it? Maybe, but it doesn't matter. If you see the same type of offensive problems in this game, Arkansas is not going to win. It's as simple as that. Like, it's going to come down to Arkansas's offense. Are they going to be able to move the ball or not? If they don't, it's over. They're not going to win. Gainesville's a tough place to play, too. Arkansas has lost 5 of those games in Gainesville. 0-5 in them. And, of course, everyone remembers.
That's surprising they've only played 5.
Yeah, because I was trying to go through. So they played there in 2020 when the COVID year happened, and they got added then. They added Florida to the schedule. So they played there then. They played down there in 2013, that year, Brett Bielema's first year. They played there in 2009. And then in what was the Matt Jones' last year? 04. So they played there and lost. And then the other time was in 97. So, yeah, only those 5 times.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird to me, too.
And so the first 5 years of the SEC never played at Florida.
Yeah. I don't even know how they did the scheduling back then. I know it's, you played all the West teams, and then at that point, I think Arkansas' permanent East opponent was still South Carolina. But I felt like during that time, I don't know, I need to go back, because I felt like they played Tennessee like every year for a span. It was like 98, 99, 2001, 2002.
Probably was easy to make that game, make that schedule, simply because they're so close in proximity.
Yeah, it's just they didn't have that set rotating, like, you're going to play this team this year, then you have to wait 10 years until you play them again at their place. It seemed like it was kind of like that, like, hey, let's just find regions, let's find what's easy, let's find, what works, which I kind of like that. I kind of liked that back then. But, yeah, they haven't played Florida that much. In fact, in Fayetteville, they've only played 4 times in Fayetteville.
Arkansas has won a couple of those games, too.
Won 1, actually.
Oh, they only won 1? It seemed like they won a second one. So John L., that was the win.
No, they didn't play John. That year, they didn't play them in 2012.
Okay, that was Kentucky.
Yeah, that was Kentucky. Yeah, Kentucky came to Fayetteville. The other one was, of course, in 2016.
Bielema.
Yeah, with Bielema.
Yeah.
In fact, so what's crazy, that's the only time Arkansas has beaten Florida in the conference since they've joined the SEC. Was that one time in 2016. The only time. I know it sounds surprising, but it's they've played each other in Atlanta twice at the SEC championship. Arkansas lost both. They played each other in Houston, which was for that bowl game. I forgot what the bowl game was called, but Arkansas did win that one. But overall, Florida leads the series 10-2. 10-2 is what they are against the Razorbacks. So, yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate it's been that many times. But maybe you can finally get that monkey off your back and beat them in Gainesville. Let's go to Paul, who's in Benton. What's up, Paul?
Good morning, or hello. Got a little thing to share about Bobby Knight.
Okay.
You two guys may or may not be aware that our dear local sports columnist that tries to tell it like it is reached a point where he decided that he would never use Bob Knight's name. He always referred, when he wanted to refer to him, it was the coach at Indiana, or Texas Tech, whichever applied. If he wanted to talk about Knight, he reached the point that that's the way he did it.
So was there a reason given why that was the case?
I forget what it is. He's revealed it when he was really cornered about it, like on his spots on the Buzz. But I think there might have been a particular incident where he felt that Bobby Knight slighted him or slammed him. Maybe I'm not. I'm not
there's
certain.
some history there.
Maybe some other listener remembers it more clearly than I.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm sure there is
just
some.
Thought that was interesting.
Yeah, well, we appreciate it, Paul. Thanks for calling in. Yeah, I want to say that one time when, you're referring to Wally Hall, of course, when I was with Wally and Bob Holt at the think it was the SEC tournament or the NCAA tournament, but I think that was brought up and Wally mentioned something about it, but then I forgot like what the story was or what the history was about. But there's a reason why and why they did and why he does it that way. So, but that just kind of shows you how like Bob Knight, like, you know, Arkansas basketball and how successful they've been and everything. I felt like Arkansas basketball and Indiana didn't really have a whole lot of matchups and didn't go up against Bobby Knight. They did against Texas Tech a couple of times when he was there, but never really against Indiana, to my knowledge.
And that's why, you know, just looking at the history of Indiana basketball, that's why, you know, there's a certain perception that maybe, you know, they think they're better than what they are because they're always looking to the past and seeing the success then, and they're thinking that they're that same team and that same school now, and they're not.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if there's Indiana basketball fans out there who get mad, but I kind of like look at them almost like Nebraska football in a way, where it's like they had such a long time where they're really successful, and there's still a lot of people that look back onto that. Not to say that they can't be successful again. That's not what I'm saying, but just to know, like, sometimes in college sports especially, things go cyclical. Things go where dominance ends up happening at one school for a long period of time, and there's a little bit of a falling out or, maybe something changes in the game itself. There's a lot of reasons that could go into it. But, yeah, Indiana, they've had a couple of decent years here and there. I think, what was the guy's name? Was it Mike Davis? I believe it was Mike Davis that was there. They went to a championship game, and they lost that year. And Tom Crean, when he was up there at Indiana, I think won 30 games one season. I think that was the year, was it Victor Oladipo, I think it was on that team, and they ended up not going far in the NCAA tournament. And now Mike Woodson's there, which he's done a really good job in recruiting, and they're trying to get it going.
Knight. Yeah. So there's a connection there that Coach Woodson played for Bob Knight.
So, yeah, who knows? Maybe they can get back going and be a little bit more consistent, but, yeah, certainly has not been the same since Bob Knight has left Indiana. But we got more to talk about coming up next year on Out of Bounds. We'll get to what's trending in the world of sports, so stay with us.
Okay, we're back from halftime. Looks like customers coming on the lot. Guadney Buick GMC salesperson is offering a test drive. They're off on test drive. No, wait, they're back. Managers appraising their trade. Guadney Buick GMC has made an incredible offer and touchdown! Another incredible deal next to Sam's in North Little Rock. Call 501-945-4444. 5700 Landers Road in North Little Rock. GuadneyBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Is your heating system ready for winter? Middleton Heat and Air is here to keep your family safe and warm through even the coldest Arkansas winter. Schedule a safety check for your system before it gets cold. Our experts also offer free estimates on replacements with no overtime rates from 8 to 8, even on weekends. See why we're the most trusted name for HVAC in the state. Call Middleton today at 501-922-3575.
If you're looking to update your home decor, then go see our friends at Coffin by Design West. At Coffin by Design West, they have design specialists on staff that can help you with your decisions on any updates to your home. They have over 7,000 square feet of beautiful new home decor pieces such as sofas, dining tables, design throw pillows, lighting, and chairs that arrive daily. For those of you who like the aromatique candles, you can find those and also gift cards. Located out west past Taylor Loop, 14900 Cantrell Road, or go to the web at coffinlumber.com.
This is the Pigskin Preacher, bringing you the word.
Double B's is a growing Arkansas company with 34 locations in our state. Small local businesses are the largest employers nationally and create 2 out of every 3 new jobs. Buying locally at Double B's means creating more opportunities for local residents to work in our communities. When dollars are spent locally, they are respent locally, paying more salaries and building the local tax base. You want to keep Arkansas thriving and unique? Support an Arkansas-owned business like Double B's, which helps define our community's self-image and creates Arkansas pride for Arkansans. Double B's is of Arkansas and for Arkansas. Double B's. It's where you gas it, grab it, and go. That's Double B's.
Our care clinics are your hometown source for primary medical care. Our doctors, nurses, and counselors can help patients of all ages with anything from common colds and immunizations to depression, anxiety, and chronic diseases. Our network includes both mail order and local pharmacies to fulfill your prescriptions. If you don't have insurance, it's okay. We can help with that too. And no one is turned away. With more than 65 locations in Arkansas, there's a good chance we're in your hometown. Look us up at ourcare.net.
Unlike other shows, we don't talk over each other with old hee-haw jokes.
This is bullcrap! Well, I ain't standing for this! Well, mine as hell! Yeah, they're down! They're down!
So call or text to actually be heard on Out of Bounds at 501-661-1037. You're listening to Out of Bounds with John Nabors and Joe Franklin.
Dean's going to throw, and it's intercepted at the 15. Spence has picked it off, and he's going to go the distance. 50, 40, 30, 20. Brad Spence to the house. An interception return for a score, 85 yards in his first game as a Razorback. How about that?
On 103.7 The Buzz.
If you're shopping for a vehicle, you want to get to Gwatney Chevrolet. Gwatney has best deals in the market, been doing it 60-plus years. Give them a call, 501-982-2102. Red tag sale is going on at Gwatney Chevrolet. 2024 Equinox, you can get 1.9% financing or $1,000 in total cash allowance. The 2023 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab, you can also get 1.9% or $2,000 in total cash allowance. Make the trip to the Gregory Street exit in Jacksonville. Shop them online, GwatneyChevrolet.com. You can see all the deals, the cash allowances, the rebates, even appraise a vehicle, see just how much it's worth. They're giving thousands over book value, whether you trade that vehicle in or you sell it to Gwatney Chevrolet. Gwatney is always actively buying vehicles, so you get a great deal on a vehicle that you trade in or sell. See the entire inventory of new and pre-owned vehicles on GwatneyChevrolet.com. Make a deal on GwatneyChevrolet.com. Get a deal started there before you make the trip to the Gregory Street exit in Jacksonville. And you can see that entire inventory of new and pre-owns on GwatneyChevrolet.com. Get a service scheduled today on GwatneyChevrolet.com. They have convenient service hours throughout the week. Also, Saturday, 7 a.m. until noon, in case you can't make it throughout the week. It's Gwatney Chevrolet, Arkansas's #1 Chevy dealer. Gwatney Chevrolet, GwatneyChevrolet.com.
It's Trash Talk Thursday here on Out of Bounds, and I was just thinking before we get to our what's trending in the world of sports, also saw, when we talk about Arkansas and Florida, can you name the player that had the most receiving yards against Florida in the history of these two teams playing? For Arkansas, that is.
In the history?
Yeah, because, I mean, I wouldn't have gotten it. It's Mike Woods. He had 129 yards, and I forgot about this too. He had 2 touchdowns in that game too, with 2 receptions.
And that was 2016?
2020. The COVID year,
okay.
yeah. He had 2 catches for 129 yards, 2 touchdowns. So
that's
I would have guessed. Yeah. After that was Greg Childs, and then Stephen Harris. I remember him. That was Matt Jones's guy in 2004, his leading receiver. And then Richard Smith before that, and Anthony Eubanks. All had 100-yard receiving games against Florida.
See, Anthony Eubanks, you would have thought he may have been the leading receiver.
Yeah, he had 111 yards against the Gators in 96. But as far as leading the guys that had the most rushing yards against Florida, Raleigh Williams led the way, 148 yards. Gary Anderson had 161 yards in the bowl game against Florida. But then Raleigh Williams, then Michael Smith back in 2008. Then Traylon Smith in 2020, and then Dennis Johnson. So a few 100-yard rushers there. So a little fascinating little tidbits. And some of those guys I forgot. Like Mike Woods, I forgot about that. And I went back and watched the highlight. Yeah, 2 catches with big bombs that were thrown. and they got the victory, and that was Dan Mullen when he was there, which I remember those couple years that he was going on, which also people forget with that Dan Mullen when he was at Florida, because he was there for, 3 years, I think? 2.5, 3 years?
Yeah, they rotate him quick at Florida.
I'm telling you.
Even with success.
We talk about Auburn, man. Florida's one of those, too, because as I was talking to, again, the guy that from yesterday with Florida, he was saying that if Florida loses to Arkansas, there's a chance that they may, make moves. I'm like, man, it's pretty rough. I mean, I would too, but still, it's rough. They don't wet around. They don't mess around down there with the Gators. They have a high expectation, but still, it's pretty wild. Let's go to Kurt, who's in Bryant. What's up, Kurt?
Hey, fellas.
So, man,
I was just going to comment on two things.
Okay.
Number one, when we first joined the SEC with South Carolina, of course, that made 12 teams. The deal was we had two permanent opponents then. South Carolina and Tennessee were our permanent opponents, so that made 7. And you had to rotate through the other 4 in the East, home and away, and so that took 8 years to rotate all the way through. And that's one of the reasons until A&M and Missouri joined the league that it took so long for us to play Florida, more than once in Gainesville.
Well, when did
Kurt,
they stop doing that? Because Tennessee stopped being a permanent opponent. I think it was like in 2002 maybe, so I guess they stopped that randomly at one point.
Well, I'm not sure about that. I thought it was when A&M and Missouri joined, and, of course, that would have blocked everybody out because you would have had 6 Western opponents and 2 Eastern. So you might be right, though. But at any rate, that's why it was that way to begin with. But the other deal is on Saturday, I think Arkansas has a real chance. And the reason is it's not because of past performance, but I think that when you're talking about college football, you're talking about, to me, I'm 69 years old.
Nice.
I got grandkids older than a lot of these people. They're little kids, and not little kids, but you know what I mean. The thing is that it's like herding cats to coach them. And I think that the change in the offense and the fact that they like Pittman and they want to go to a bowl game, they may come out of there breathing some fire. And I think if they do, there's some talent on this team, as we all know, but they've been just disrupted this whole season. And I'm not saying they can fix everything, but I think they may give Florida a real battle. And if they can win Saturday and get that, boost, man, I think they could sweep them. I'm not saying it's likely, but I think they got a real chance. And, of course, I hope I'm being Nostradamus.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Anyway, that's all I've got, fellas. It's just that, it's emotional for college kids in a lot of ways because they're young.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that gives them a real chance if the coaches can fire them up. That's all I got, fellas. Enjoying the show.
All right. Appreciate it, Kurt. Thanks for calling in. And I think, I agree with him. I think everybody's just kind of waiting and seeing, if you're a Razorback fan, on what happens Saturday. Or, again, what if? What if they win? What if they look good? What if they put some things together offensively? It could change a lot of stuff, but your back's completely and totally against the wall where you have to go 4-0 to even make a bowl game. If that's what you're going to do, then it's got to start in Gainesville. But you've had a bye week. You've had time to prepare for this, and if you come out and still look the same as before, then it was all for naught, and it's done.
Not sure that they're going to look the same. They should look different, but just the fact that you don't know if it's going to change too much.
Yeah,
and change to the point where it does make a difference in not only this game but the rest of the season.
Yeah, maybe they just need. And let's be honest, it's about that and about being better offensively, but it's also about having the confidence in moving forward. Where if maybe you get this win, it gives a little boost to them. It gives a little boost to the morale, and they feel a lot better. And you return back to play an Auburn team at 3:00 in the afternoon next Saturday. That also has been struggling this year. So it'd be nice to win that one because I feel like you haven't beaten Auburn at home in literally a decade. It's been close to it. You haven't beaten them at home since 2015. So it'd be nice to win that one at least. Real quick before we take a break, Brian's in Hot Springs. What's up, Brian?
Oh, not a whole lot. I really like. I got this feeling like if they can get KJ going, some confidence, the sky's the limit, and that's the key there. If you can just get KJ going and playing with some confidence, the rest of the team will take off. And the offense doesn't have to. And the beautiful part about all this, the offense doesn't have to be spectacular. Just take care of the ball, pin them deep when we have to, and let defense do its thing. And we've got one of the best college kickers in college football. Let me ask you this: is there anybody you'd take over Little? Not me.
I know.
That's my point, though. This run is doable. Is it going to be hard? Probably, but I like our chances. So as long as we can get Pittman to not make mistakes that he made against Mississippi State, I like our chances.
Well, Ryan, we appreciate the phone call, man. And again, I'll believe it when I see it. I like the optimism, but we got to see it first. But we got more Out of Bounds, and Pat Bradley joining us next, so stay with us.
Companies are shifting their telephone systems to the cloud, and you should too. ESI eCloud PBX has everything you need. Features like work from anywhere, video calls, and advanced security tools make ESI eCloud PBX one of the best choices for any business. Opt out of the high cost of your traditional phone system and move to the cloud. Sign up for an online demo at nsgdv.com and get your system activated at no charge.
Network Services Group. One call does it all.
If you don't already have the Bet Saracen Sports Wager app, download it today from the app stores or go to BetSaracen.com. Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports betting app.
Need a new ride for the big game? Or a new tailgate to party on? Get in the game at Gwatney Chevrolet in Jacksonville and score every time. Hundreds of vehicles to choose from test drive to touchdown. Gwatney Chevrolet is in it to win your business. Gwatney Chevrolet, 1301 TP White in Jacksonville, Arkansas's #1 Chevy dealer. Call us at 982-2102 or visit GwatneyChevrolet.com. Chevrolet, find new roads.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Don't worry, we don't understand ourselves either. 1037 The Buzz. Buzz News with Channel 7's Ryan Houston.
The city of Little Rock is calling on people to help their neighbors by donating to a large food drive. It's called Anyone Can Food Drive. From now until November 31st, Little Rock fire stations will be accepting perishable items like pasta, beans, rice, canned fruits, and veggies. The city does ask that you check the expiration date on any canned good that you donate to make sure it remains edible. An Arkansas murder suspect is arrested in Oregon. Police arrested 23-year-old Ricky Lamont Howard Jr., who was wanted in connection to the January 2022 killing of 55-year-old Calvin Kirkland. On Saturday, a Eugene police officer spotted a car that detectives had told officers to be on the lookout for. Inside, they found Howard sleeping. He was taken into custody. The Jefferson County Sheriff will be handling extradition. From the Channel 7 Newsroom, I'm Ryan Houston.
Edwards Food Giant presents Razorback Baseball color analyst and Drop Time Sports co-host Rick Schaefer every Tuesday morning on Morning Mayhem. Rick will share his special take on Razorback sports with the guys each week. Edwards Food Giant, the meat people, the only stop you'll ever have to make for your family's groceries.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with Channel 7's Melinda Mayo.
We've got a little bit of a warming trend starting today, mostly sunny and 60 for a high this afternoon. And then tonight's low just drops down to 38, so not quite as chilly. Mid-60s expected on Friday and 70s this weekend. From the Channel 7 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Melinda Mayo.
Buy one, get one free at the Riverfront Steakhouse. This Thursday night, we're going to have prime rib, 12-ounce prime rib served with our great mashed potatoes. Buy one, get one free.
Clint Sterner joins Justin and Wes in the zone, courtesy of Chris Crane Hyundai of Conway. Shop Chris Crane Hyundai's selection of new and pre-owned vehicles online at chriscranehyundai.com. It's Clint Sterner in the zone each week, brought to you by Chris Crane Hyundai of Conway on your fun and game station 103.7 The Buzz.
If you're looking for the best deal on a pre-owned vehicle, you'll find it here in Hot Springs on Central Avenue at Motorsports Authority, here with Wild Bill and Magic Mark. These are some fantastic deals, guys.
Hey, Magic Mark, tell us about some of these special rigs you got sitting here.
We've got cars for every taste. Cars, trucks, SUVs. This is the best selection of inventory we've had in the past 2 years. More for your trade? Yes.
Payments for every budget? Yes.
Online at MSAstore.com. We'll see you at Motorsports Authority.
What are you waiting for?
Right this way. Welcome to the $1 Million VIP Club, an all-new VIP scratch-off ticket from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery. It's for very important players and is hiding some very impressive prizes, like a top prize of $1 million and more than $42 million in total prizes. Be a VIP today. Ask for the new $1 Million VIP Club Scratcher. You could play, scratch, and win $1 million. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Difficult times challenge our mental and physical health. Take time to exercise. Focus on your emotional needs and your loved ones. If you need help, visit MethodistFamily.org. For over 120 years, MFH has been your community resource for a complete continuum of care. This message is sponsored by Methodist Family Health and aired in cooperation with this station and the Arkansas Broadcasters Association.
What a busy Thursday, Roger.
It was a busy Thursday, a fun Thursday. Yeah, it really was.
Tonight you'll be at the Mainline Sports Bar over at Oakland with trivia.
Yeah, and then we come out and we wrap it all up with a TGIMFF. It's Big Man Friday.
That's right. Dan Hampton, Mark May, and Landon Jackson of the Hogs.
Woo! And then we're one day closer to a Hog victory.
ESPN Radio Extra Point with Chris Carlin.
I don't get why you would look at this, evaluate your team, and say, yep, we're good. When everybody else who consistently wins in the postseason does it. The Rams, a few years ago, went and got Von Miller when they needed somebody. The Eagles have done it a few times. First Super Bowl trip around, they went and got Jay Ajayi. Remember that?
I do.
Remember LeGarrette Blount? They did things to help their team, and you just laid out Byard. This is so maddening to me, and this is why, whether you want to point to somebody else in that front office who's actually got say, ultimately the guy who is making all of the decisions is Jerry Jones, and he's got to fire his GM. He's got to fire himself, but he's just not going to do it.
At the Home Depot, Saturdays are about two things. Getting ready for company with the Samsung Family Hub Plus refrigerator.
And football.
That's right, Kirk Herbstreit. Search for recipes, check out scores, or even stream the game to the screen at the same time, so you never miss a second of the action. Which means you can make your famous buffalo chicken dip and have
more time for football.
Upgrade your Saturday with Samsung and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Discover, this is Daniela.
Hi, it's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to thank you for making me feel so special. I earned cash back on debit for my dinner party groceries.
That's great, but with Discover Cashback Debit, we give everyone cash back on everyday purchases. Anything else I can help you with?
Do you like asparagus and mushroom sorbet? I've got leftovers.
Introducing Discover Cashback Debit, a checking account with cash back. It pays to Discover. Eligibility and terms at discover.com/cashback debit. Discover Bank, member FDIC.
Live from the Hoggs Meat Market Studios, this is Out of Bounds.
The 1-2 pitch. Ground ball, base hit left field. Of course it's Corey Seager. It is always Seager. Breaks up the no-hitter to start the 7th. In the air to left center field. Gurriel's back. It is gone! Texas on the verge. It's hit. Texas Rangers win the World Series!
Yeah.
With John Nabors.
Every time you put a mic in my face, I'm going to say Arkansas.
And Joe Franklin.
We won't go in the shell. We're going to go in attack mode because that's what's required.
On 103.7 The Buzz.
My left stroke just went viral. Right stroke put a baby in a spiral. Soprano C, we like to keep it on the high note. It's levels to it, you and I know. Tell them be humble.
1 hour down, 2 hours to go. Appreciate everybody listening in on this beautiful day here in the great state of Arkansas. John Nabors, Joe Franklin, broadcasting live from the Hoggs Meat Market Studios with you today. And thank you, as always, for making us a part of your afternoon this afternoon. It is Trash Talk Thursday. And speaking of, and the Asher Record Live fan feedback, should have read this earlier, but Say What says on his Trash Talk, what do the Florida Gators and Shrek have in common? They are both used to losing in the swamp. So, all right, well, I already like that early, but it's going to be an interesting matchup happening on Saturday. But between that and, of course, the Rangers winning the World Series and got the NBA going on, too, there's just a lot of stuff to talk about. So who better to talk about all of the things going on than Pat Bradley? So let's go ahead and welcome in old PB. Thanks to Motorsports Authority here on Out of Bounds. And PB, what's going on, man? How you doing?
What's up, boys? You got me?
Yes, you sounding great, PB.
Wow, technology coming through.
Yes, it did.
I was betting against it. I got to be honest with you.
Hey.
But it came through.
Those odds on Bet Saracen, they did come through. So that wouldn't have been a good bet if you bet against it.
Now, my whole problem is, why do you get me addicted to technology and then it doesn't work? It's cruel. It should be criminal. When you need to look, some service goes out.
Oh, that's how it always happens.
Trying to talk on the phone, that's just when it cuts out.
Yep.
It's just, but you got me hooked. You got to come through. You got to deliver.
Yeah.
Man, come on.
Yeah.
How you feeling there, PB? It's we've been going through a bit of a freeze here, and it's 60 degrees today, but 70s and 80s are right around the corner. When we hit the weekend, we're going to get into the 70s, and then next week we'll be back to the 80s. But past few days we've had a freeze going on.
I know a freeze in Little Rock is about 60 degrees. That's for sure. But right now is the time to, as a matter of fact, the traffic is insane because there's so many people from around the country and really around the world that swarm to this area for the fall foliage. So really from, beginning of October until, maybe mid-November, end of November, it's a big time tourist situation with, people wanting to check out the changing of the leaves, the apple picking, and so it's about as nice of a time as you can get, in New England this time of the year. You can all do all that pumpkin patch business and all the apple picking that your heart desires. But do not eat the apples that you pick from the apple orchard before you pay, because you pay by the pound, and that would be stealing. So be very careful, unless you give them a little tip, I guess, on the side. But that's my little tip for you guys. Be careful if you start crunching down on apples right there in the orchard.
Yeah, well, now we're aware. So good little tip there. Good little tip.
Aware.
Yeah,
all about tips.
Hey, did you do anything for Halloween? Anything special, PB?
No, I didn't this year. Tuesday, falls on a Tuesday. It's, typically I do. Typically, we hosted the Cajuns Halloween costume contest for many, many, many years, and it was one of the great buzz events of all time, I would say. I don't know if John, I don't think if you ever went, I don't know, but
no,
Joe,
sadly
no
not.
doubt that was one of the great buzz events. That, Christmas karaoke, of course.
Yeah.
But, the Halloween contest, much controversy every year.
Of course it was, yeah.
Much controversy.
Because there would always be unique costumes, and it'd be hard to choose to say that this one stands above all others. Yeah. That's just how it is.
And the thing was, people would be lining up outside Cajuns to get in, and it's just, it's tough to judge. And we hosted, we didn't judge, but it was difficult. Some really good times though. Good memories, the old Cajun Wharf.
So hey, PB, so are you saying that we need to be gearing up to Maybe do a live broadcast around the Beantown area this time of year. We need to make that happen. Is that something we need to do?
You need to look for a reason. You know, Arkansas State – did Arkansas State play at UMass
a
couple weeks ago, football?
Yeah.
So you guys need to look at the calendar because Basil and the morning show guys came up and did a show from the north end of Boston, which is the Little Italy of Boston, a few years. You know how they do their trip every year. I think we went one year and did it from up in, where'd we go? Oh, we did when Arkansas basketball played at Iowa State. We went up there and did the show from Iowa State's complex with Fred Hoiberg.
Nice.
He agreed to come on with us.
Wow.
So you guys need to look at the calendar, and because there's always something. You can find some Arkansas connection, whether it's, I don't know, Hunter Henry with the Patriots, whether it's someone with the Red Sox. That'd be a nice little out-of-bounds trip for you guys.
We want to do one overlooking the harbor. That'd be
There
a
you go.
perfect show.
There you go.
Yeah.
Call Bill Vickery. He's got connections in Boston.
Oh, yeah.
Guy's
yeah.
unbelievable.
We'll make that happen.
Yeah. Because I was even thinking, PB, what's something I have circled, and it's no guarantee, but, you know, the Sweet 16 and Elite 8, there's games at TD Garden this year. So
that's right.
They have, I think the Sweet 16 Elite 8 sites are in L.A. at Crypto, where the Lakers play, in Dallas at the American Airlines Center, in Detroit, and then in Boston. So, I mean, I think everybody will take wherever, but I'm really holding out hope that Arkansas finds a way not only to get to the Sweet 16, but also to go up there to Boston to play in TD Garden. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be a nice treat for sure. That would be, what would that be, late March, mid-late March?
Yeah.
Which, you could get lucky. The weather could break. You get lucky. Get a couple nice decent days. And they just did that whole TD Garden area over. Like, I don't know how many of the pro arenas you guys have been to, but, you know, that's what everybody is striving for, is to make it sort of like a destination spot where you go there and you have all kinds of shops, restaurants, and all as many ways to get money out of your pocket as they can. That's the idea. And they built it, and it wasn't easy because it is so clustered down there in that area of. It's really North Station. It's a stop on the subway line, and they've sort of built around that. So it'd be good trip. Put that one in the back pocket. You never
Scotty
know.
Adams says we need to do it at Chinatown with Johnny.
Gianni, Chinatown. Those are some good times. Scotty's spot is actually Hampton Beach up in New Hampshire. You know, Scotty loves the beach.
Oh, yeah.
But that's another spot you can hit. But, yeah, Chinatown, let me know. If you guys come down, we'll run around there a little bit. And,
we'll do it.
We'll see. You never know what you find in those alleyways. They used to be that section of Boston right next to Chinatown. There was a section that they called the Combat Zone. And it was, this is in the 80s, and it was where all your XXX theaters were. And you would drive there and go down there, and it was something straight out of a movie. I mean, but there was so much crime there, and they've essentially, wiped everything out of there. But yeah, it's a lot of character, great food, great friends. Gianni, my buddy. So
sounds like a perfect place to hang out. Not only now, but then.
Oh yeah, and it was, we didn't entertainment back in the 80s. Joe, I don't know if your father did this, but we would take rides. Everybody would hop in the car and we'd go for a ride. That was entertainment. I don't know if anyone else.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Of a certain age, so my father would take us through the Combat Zone, just to see. You'd see prostitutes walking around, and it was wild. That was what you did for entertainment back those days.
Good times.
Yeah. Sounds like it. I hate to missed out on it.
Before Nintendo.
Yeah.
Before Nintendo.
Yeah. Well, PB, I know that there's some other things that, of course, we were talking about it with the passing of Bobby Knight, man. Think about college basketball, iconic, legendary guy that has not only had a lot of success as a coach, but as a player and even as a personality. So just what was your reaction to hearing the news of Bobby Knight's passing?
Well, he had slowed down considerably last few years. You didn't see him out a lot, but he was arguably the greatest basketball mind of all time. He obviously he made a lot of headlines because he was so fiery. But if you listen to him, there wasn't anybody out. There was Hubie Brown and Bobby Knight, my two favorite to listen when they did a basketball game. There was just so much knowledge that he had, and he, as a coach, he understood, like they called him the general, and there's a lot to be said about how he didn't accept anything but your best, and if you didn't have it, then if you weren't able to succeed under him, you at least got to see the best of the best and how they did it. And maybe you can't match that, but at least you got to see it. And the other thing, when he coached Jordan in the '84 Olympics, at that time in 1984, he said that Jordan was the greatest basketball player he'd ever seen in his life. Think about that. Jordan was 21, maybe 20. He was just finished his what? I don't know what year he was. Did he finish his junior year? That was probably the year?
Yeah, that was right around that time. He would have been 21.
84 draft.
Yeah, he would have been 21.
So he was essentially hadn't played an NBA game because he couldn't at the time. But he could. There's that. I'm sure you guys saw the interview that made the rounds. It was in Jordan's "Come Fly With Me." But you think of that, arguably the greatest basketball mind of all time, calling somebody who hadn't played an NBA game yet the greatest basketball player of all time. I mean, that's pretty, as they say in Back to the Future, that's pretty heavy stuff. I mean, that's pretty heavy stuff. He talked about the competitiveness, the athleticism, and the skill level was unmatched. So gives you an idea of, when you have discussions about greatest of all time in players, you go a guy like that, and he called it. But it was just amazing, what he was able to do. And I loved his approach, man. I loved it.
Well, think about the effect that he had on college basketball, not only with players that he coached like Isaiah Thomas, Keith Smart, but, some of the coaches that played for him and coached with him, Coach K, Mike Woodson.
Well, I'll tell you who, Chris Beard. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's from the Bobby Knight tree.
Steve Alford?
Yeah, Alford and the players that played for him. And he affected, a guy like that, though, affects people who didn't even play for him and didn't even coach for him. Whether it's listening to him at a clinic, listening to him doing a basketball game, listening to him, I don't know if he had probably had instructional tapes. He was that influential. And the idea, he had a head coaching job at 24, played at Ohio State, was the sixth man at Ohio State, Coach K, obviously. And, so he's, whenever you talk about the greatest coaches of all time in any sport, I mean, that guy's got to be on the list. I mean, he's I'm talking all-time coaches. He just was that was in his blood.
Well, and that's kind of something we talked about, too. We were speaking with Pat Bradley, thanks to Motorsports Authority. And PB, there's a lot of guys out there that have had success. Think of Coach K, Dean Smith, just a lot of coaches that are iconic in college basketball. But for having the larger-than-life personality, I mean, this was a guy that they made movie characters based off of him, like they did with Gene Hackman in Hoosiers and like they did with and Blue Chips even. Somebody brought up on our Southern Structural Solutions text line, I forgot about it. He had a cameo in the movie Anger Management with Adam Sandler, where he went off. Like, there's just not many people that were able to have the high level of success that he had in the game, but also be a larger-than-life personality. So to combine the two just really showcases just how legendary he really was, where he could do it in the game of basketball, but also do it off the court too.
Exactly. Well, he reminds me a lot of Coach Richardson because they both understood how to use their big personalities. Like there's coach, as you mentioned, there's like Dean Smith. I mean, he was tough, right? Dean Smith's tough, right? His approach was a little different. But I think, Bobby Knight understood that gruff exterior, but he was also gentle when he needed to be. He wasn't just around there pushing people around. So I think he embraced it. He was funny. He was witty. So he did have a larger-than-life personality, but he knew how to use it, and he used it for a purpose. It wasn't just to be, there's some people who think they are, and they're out there bullying everybody and just like to rule with the iron hand or iron fist. Is that what it is? But, he did it with a purpose, and he knew when to use that, and he knew when not to. And not a lot of people can do that. Like I said, I mean, you got to accept that personality and own it. It wasn't just like, you see some of the interviews where he's just like would yell at the reporter or something. And it's like, well, he's not just grouchy. There's a method behind his madness. And I think that's, sort of the interesting part about it.
Well, PB, I was going to ask you, did you ever have any run-ins with him? Any conversations, anything with him?
Yeah, never an extensive conversation. I forget where it is. A lot of times you just kind of, come across people quickly, but never, unfortunately, an extensive, conversation. Of course, I would have cherished that, but no, sadly, no. But he left behind many, many, many lessons that we can all learn from.
PB, baseball season is over, and Texas Rangers are your World Series champions. They got it done in 5 games, and just an impressive run where they went undefeated on the road throughout the playoffs.
Yeah, it was. I'm glad they were able to win. I like that team, and it's a strange time in baseball, fellas. A very strange time in baseball when with it seems like they're leaning into analytics more and more, and I don't know how it's affecting fan bases. If your team is playing, you're going to watch, but I think it may be affecting the overall fan base. So I'm just I pay attention to the Red Sox a lot, obviously, and they just hired a new GM who doesn't really give you a lot of confidence, because all he talks about is all these fancy words that you don't understand, but that have to do with mathematics and stuff. And it's I don't know. I think I'm afraid they might have lost their fastball when it comes to that.
And PB, that's it's crazy to think where baseball, the Rangers had gone this long without ever winning a World Series. And now Dallas is one of the cities that have a championship in all 4 major sports. But we were talking about it seems like Boston up there might be the one that has the most not only the most championships in the 4 major sports, but all the most recent ones in all 4 major sports too. So that's always a fascinating thing to think about, is just how difficult it is to win championships. So when you have it in a city, to finally get that and to finally win those too, it always makes it really cool for those local cities too, the citizens there at least.
No, it does, yeah. And we did this I don't know how many years ago, 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago. You might want to look this up, or if you get a slow day, look at the 4 major sports and see how many different champions there are since, say, the year 2000. And I think at the time when we did it might have been, say, 2017 or 2016, whatever it was. Major League Baseball had the most, or more than any other different team than any other league had won it. It was sort of a lot more in parity than any other league.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if that's changed. It possibly could have, but most parity. So, and when you do look that up, let me know. I'm curious. I can't do all that work.
Well, we'll definitely let you know, PB. And before we let you get out of here, though, give a shout out to the fine folks over at Motorsports Authority.
Thank you. MSAstore.com. MSAstore.com. You can go to the website. You can check out all the locations. They can finance. They can trade. They got service, parts for you, accessories, car and trucks. MSA store.com. We've got all locations there, and you can check out all the beautiful inventory that they have for you.
All right, PB. Well, have a great weekend. We'll catch up with you next week.
All right, boys. Talk to you later. Be careful out there.
See you, PB.
All right. Again, that was Pat Bradley joining us. Thanks to Motorsports Authority. Take another break here on a Trash Talk Thursday, and we will come back with what's trending in the world of sports, so stay with us.
It's Randy Rainwater. Join me for the Sonic Blast this Friday in Conway when the Wampus Cast host the Bryant Hornets. Brought to you by the Sonic Drive-In and 103.7 The Buzz.
This is Sports Center.
Last night in the NBA, the Jazz beat the Grizzlies 133-109. Memphis has now fell to 0-5. They have 20 more games before the return of Ja Morant. They do have a difficult schedule for the remainder of November, however. The Lakers beat the Clippers 130-125 in overtime. LeBron James had 35 points, 12 rebounds, and 7 assists in the win. Tonight there will be 2 games on NBA TV. The Raptors will face the 76ers at 6. Then at 9, the Spurs will face the Suns. And in the NFL, Thursday Night Football will have the Steelers hosting the Titans at 7:15. Coverage for that game can be heard on 106.7 Buzz 2. I'm Christian Weaver with the Buzz Radio Network.
Hey Razorback fans, it's Quinn Grovey. Check out the new location of Bell & Sword in Conway. Suits, shirts, vests, also polos with Arkansas logo gear from Johnny O and Peter Millar. A store within a store with Arkansas-made Martin Dingman shoes and leather goods. Fantastic service with a tailor-on staff to fit you perfectly. Go to the new location, Bell & Sword, 1011 Oak Street, Conway, or on Facebook and Instagram.
Heartland Rehabilitation and Care Center in Benton proudly offers compassionate and loving care to our veterans, meeting the unique needs of every veteran who calls Heartland home. Visit heartlandrehabcenter.com.
It's time for a Corky's Ribs and Barbecue customer review. Corky's, you've ruined all of the ribs for me. I took a bite and suddenly my taste buds threw a party. Now my friends want to come over for barbecue night, but only if Corky's is invited too. Corky's Ribs and Barbecue in Little Rock and North Little Rock.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard. Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope. And they're fun. So you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard. It's perfect.
Now try Babbel free. Just go to Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
Stacked Commercial Truck and Trailer has 5 service trucks available, providing you on-site service to get you back on the road. If that doesn't do it, Stacked has a new state-of-the-art 13-bay shop for service and repair on all Class A trucks, trailers, RVs, light and medium-duty commercial vehicles, tires, brakes, AC, engine repair, transmissions, differentials, and driveline repair. Stacked Commercial Truck and Trailer Repair. Get Stacked 2 miles off 530 exit 34 in Whitehall.
It's fall, and you know that means schools are back in. Leaves will be changing soon. Oh, and it means football. Friday night lights and action-packed weekend. And Chris Crane Hyundai gets you there in style and with plenty of room to bring all your tailgate gear and crew of super fans. Get America's Best Warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles, and Hyundai Assurance.
Right now, get up to $3,000 off new Hyundais this fall at Chris Crane Hyundai on Museum Road in Conway and online at chriscranehyundai.com.
It's not just about the size of the meat, it's about where you get it from. So get it from Hoggs Meat Market in North Little Rock. Hoggs Meat Market, the steak people. You're listening to Out of Bounds with John Nabors and Joe Franklin.
Jefferson off the zone read. Play action, pumps once, looking deep. Tesla at the goal line, complete, touchdown Arkansas. Man, is this guy a find or what?
On 103.7 The Buzz.
world is yours. The world is yours.
It's mine, it's mine, it's mine. Whose world is this? It's mine, it's mine, it's mine. Whose world is this?
The world is yours. The world is yours.
It's mine, it's mine, it's mine.
I sip the Don Peak, watching Gandhi till I'm charged and writing in my book of rhymes. All the words past the margin. The whole of mic I'm throbbing. Mechanical movement, understandable smooth that murderers move with. The thief's theme. Play me at night, they won't act right. The fiend of hip hop has got me stuck like a crack pipe. The mind activation, react like I'm facing time like Pappy Mason. With pins I'm embracing, wipe the sweat off my dome, spit the phlegm on the streets. Suede Timbs on my beats makes my cipher complete. Weather cruising in a 6 cab, I'm on Tarot Jeep, I can't call it. The beats make me falling asleep, I keep falling, but never falling 6 feet deep. I'm out for president.
It's a great time to get to Twin Peaks for happy hour 2 to 7. Later happy hour 10 to close. Enjoy all the food and drink specials that go along with it. Get a lunch combo starting as low as $7.99. If you want to take some food to go, you can order online, curbside, or to go. Courtesy of Postmates, DoorDash, and Uber Eats. Great drink specials during happy hour. Apps for $2, $4, and $6. You can see the display of liquor as you walk through the doors at Twin Peaks. It's there at the front. There's an extensive and exclusive bourbon selection, along with other liquor selections that you can get in your cocktails. And Twin Peaks has plenty of seating inside and out, wall-to-wall TVs to see all the sports action. There's NFL, college football going on, NBA, and college basketball is right around the corner. Thursday night football, Titans taking on the Steelers, and there's NBA action going on. There's plenty of specials at Twin Peaks, daily and weekly, so whenever you go there, just inquire about what they have on special. You can always get something on special at Twin Peaks. It's Twin Peaks, Eats, Drinks, Scenic Views.
It is a Trash Talk Thursday here on Out of Bounds, and kind of got a little bit behind in the first hour, but that's okay because there's a lot of things happening in the world of sports. So let's talk about what is trending.
What's Trending in Sports is brought to you by Arkansas's own West Rock Coffee. Join West Rock Coffee, the Razorbacks, and their 1.5 million farmers around the globe. It's fall, so now it's time for your team to stock up on coffee, tea, and water delivered directly to your business. Contact them at westrockcoffee.com or 833-886-JAVA today.
All right, what's trending in the world of sports? A little bit of a little wrinkle into the whole Michigan football thing, but this is according to ESPN that a vast majority of Big Ten coaches have expressed their frustrations with the ongoing signal stealing investigation of Michigan in a video call with the commissioner of the Big Ten, Tony Petitti. And that happened yesterday. The call, which took 90 minutes, included an hour without Michigan coach Jim Harbaugh joining, who hung up after the regularly scheduled Big Ten business to allow conferences to speak freely about the NCAA. Conferences coaches are allowed to speak freely about the NCAA investigation. And according to 5 sources familiar with the call, a chorus of voices encouraged the Big Ten commissioner to take action against Michigan in a call that was described as both very intense and very emotional. The source says, collectively, the coaches want the Big Ten to act right now. What are we waiting on? We want to know what happened. So it's kind of a dicey thing no matter what it is when it comes to this investigation. But it is kind of wild that the Big Ten has not done anything about this. Like, knowing that it's going, knowing that the investigation's happening, and it's just kind of sitting back and, looking back and not really doing much. I can understand some of the coaches' frustrations, I'm sure, because they're like, hey, this is going on. Like, there's pretty good evidence of it, and we're not aware of it. We don't know what's happening, but we know that it did happen. So what are you going to do about it? So there's a little bit of a tension building there with the Big Ten and some of the teams in there.
Is the Big Ten supposed to do something about it, or is the NCAA? So if you say, the people that are thinking that NCAA ultimately is going to do something here, then maybe the Big Ten says that it's not really our place. It's more to the NCAA, which we know that NCAA investigations take quite a while to happen.
Mm-hmm. I think it can be twofold because we know that certain conferences have rules. Like, for instance, in the SEC, they have a court storming, field storming policy put into place where you get fined. Not other conferences or leagues have that. So it varies. But if you're a coach, though, in the Big Ten, this happened against Big Ten teams and people were being very frustrated by this, then it does kind of look like, okay, so, should you step in? Should you say something? Should you at least keep us informed and communicate with us? I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is, but think Peter Burns of the SEC Network said it best, and I kind of feel the same way. If Michigan wasn't really good right now and looking really good right now and looking like it could be a national championship team, makes you wonder, would things be differently, or would it be handled differently, or at least would it be communicated differently to the coaches and everybody?
If Michigan was Northwestern, then we know what the result would be.
Yeah, we do, because they moved pretty quickly there inside the school, but they're not. They are undefeated. And number 2, number 3? I think number 3. So, yeah, I'm not saying that the coaches don't have a right to be upset, because they do. But also, I'm sure some of the coaches are like, hey, you need to punish them. We don't like Harbaugh. He's doing a lot of stuff with recruiting, and he's doing really good. So whatever it takes to get him out, we can do that. But still, it's just a bad situation still all around with the entire conference and some of the coaches that are getting frustrated for that. Also, I laughed about this. I saw this with Pro Football Talk. Apparently, and this, take it for what it is, because it is Pro Football Talk. Sometimes it can be a hit or miss, but he did a podcast, Mike Florio that is, and went in an interview and saying that there's some talk in there he has been hearing that Commanders owner Josh Harris will inquire about trading for Bill Belichick this offseason. Like, he's looking into trading for Bill Belichick to the Commanders, which I guess is not uncommon because coaches can be traded, but it's still like, I don't know. I find that just a little bit outlandish and crazy, but it would be pretty wild if that actually ended up happening.
It's always speculated upon with the Commanders, and now we're talking about through 2 different ownerships, because at one time they were saying that with Dan Snyder, now they're saying it with Josh Harris. So yeah, there would be some intrigue there, and then the connection and the reason this becomes a story is because those 2 teams played each other this week.
Oh yeah, that's right. I don't know. It's just seeing Bill Belichick with some other team, not the Patriots, would be weird, but it does happen. We see it happen pretty often with coaches that are there for a long period of time, go to some other place, and sometimes have success with it, too.
It's just a wonder of, we've talked about this before, would Bill Belichick still want to coach?
Right.
And then Robert Kraft, at this point, you would think that he'd be all about it. Yeah, go ahead and take him. You want to give us a couple of first-round picks?
I'll take it.
Have at it, because where the team is now, they have a lot to work through, and if you can get a fresh start with some first-round picks and just get the step forward to getting that process going for the new regime, because it's going to happen at some point, and it's going to happen at some point soon. So why not now?
So because Bill Belichick's in his mid-60s?
He should be 70.
He's about 70, yeah. So he's up there in age, no doubt. But I don't know what's going to happen there. It's just funny to think about. But still, and also some other news. I can't believe it took this long. But
71.
71. Oh, wow. So he's in his 70s. Jeez. I guess that makes sense, too, because I think him and Nick Saban were around the same age. So I think Nick Saban's about at that point, too. But also in some other news, I thought it was kind of cool that they're doing this. And we'll see if it actually works out, because we know how popular NFL Red Zone is among people, where I watch it all the time, just seeing the highlights and the actual Red Zone plays in the NFL. Well, ESPN and Pat McAfee are going to be testing out an NFL Red Zone style broadcast during the Saturday night slate of college football games, which some people, like Pat McAfee, some people don't. But also Reese Davis is going to be involved in it. And it's basically that every game that's happening on Saturday evening, they will be cutting in and out whenever things heat up. And that's what Pat McAfee announced on his show yesterday. So I don't know if it'll work. I think there's a possibility. I want to say, though, that ESPN, it actually may not have been ESPN, but somebody tried this, and it was called something different. It was like, college football pylon or college football something. But they tried it to where it would go throughout all college football, but it wasn't all college football. It was always like, the only games that are on ESPN. So not on CBS or not on Fox or whatever. So
that's usually how it works, because they don't want to promote anybody else.
Yeah, I get it. But then it's like, well, why would you want to watch it, though? Because some of the biggest games are on Fox and on CBS. It's like, no offense to, some of the Sun Belt action or some of the low SEC games, but if people are going in and watching that, it's like they probably want to see what's going on in the big games too. So I don't know. I don't know if it'll be able to work out, but with ESPN and of course Fox really taking a huge step forward in their college football coverage and amount of games that they're going to have, and even with CBS too partnering with the Big Ten. It's ESPN has the SEC and then ACC, and that's great, but they're going to try to still make their strides and make it to where they can still have some pretty big games and significant moments. So I don't know if it'll work out.
There'll be some interest in it, though, because we've seen that Pat McAfee and the crew, that they've done some games on some alternate broadcast, and it's just like the Manning cast. There's a certain audience that wants to watch in that form, and so there'll definitely be some interest in it.
I'll be curious if they do it like more of the Manning cast, where it's just you see Pat McAfee a lot sitting there, or Reese Davis sitting there, and then they're commentating about it, or will it be like the NFL Red Zone, where it's just showing the full screen highlights, and then sometimes they'll throw it back to the guy, and he'll kind of walk you through of what's going on and what's seeing it. And I can't believe I forgot his name. Who's on NFL Red Zone? Oh, Chris Hansen? Is that his name?
Scott Hansen.
Scott Hansen. No, Chris Hansen was the Catch a Predator guy. Yeah, Scott Hansen does an awesome job with it. So I'll give it a shot, see what actually happens. But let's see if that plays out that way. And also, real quick, in some golf news, Jon Rahm, who's the number 3 golfer in the world, he's pulled out of participating in the inaugural season of the TGL, which is the tech-infused league being fronted by Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy. So he said on X that he is sad to confirm that he will not be participating in the first TGL season. While I think it's a great opportunity, right now it will require a lot of commitment that I cannot offer. Best of luck to everyone involved, and may the best team win. So
he said a lot of it has to be due to the travel, because he's in Arizona and this takes place in Florida.
Yeah, because it's at because it's in Tiger's. Is it Tiger's golf course that it's happening at, or involved in some capacity? I don't know. I think that it's in South Florida is where it's at, and so it might be that's the case. But yeah, I mean, I get it. I'll be curious to see how that TGL works out, and having Tiger and Rory behind it usually is a good sign, but still, not gonna have you having Jon Rahm in it. He's gonna be focused on some other things too. But that's what's trending in the world of sports. We'll continue on with the Trash Talk Thursday. We'll have a Razor Hog update. Get to hear from Sam Pittman, some of the things he had to say in his coach's show last night. And we'll keep it moving here. Of course, want to hear from you. 501-661-1037 is that number to call or text in. We got a lot more Out of Bounds coming up.
If you're looking for the best deal on a pre-owned vehicle, you'll find it here in Hot Springs on Central Avenue at Motorsports Authority, here with Wild Bill and Magic Mark. These are some fantastic deals, guys.
Hey, Magic Mark, tell us about some of these special rigs you got sitting here.
We've got cars for every taste. Cars, trucks, SUVs. This is the best selection of inventory we've had in the past 2 years. More for your trade? Yes. Payments for every budget? Yes.
Online at MSAstore.com. We'll see you at Motorsports Authority.
What are you waiting for?
Having an outdoor event this fall, Arkansas Portable Toilets has the perfect addition. Rent a portable toilet. No, I'm not talking about your typical porta potty. I'm talking about a luxurious restroom. From 2-stall to 10-stall and everything in between, Arkansas Portable Toilets can accommodate you anywhere you are, with offices in Little Rock, Fayetteville, and Memphis. Call for any of your construction or special event portable toilet needs. Call Arkansas Portable Toilets today, 501-430-3158, or just go to their website, arportabletoilets.com.
So have you been living life with pain and you keep saying, well, I'm going to go to the doctor, but I really don't want to do the surgery and I don't want to be on pain meds forever? Well, I have an option for you. It's called QC Kinetics. Hey everybody, it's RJ Hawk. I just had a buddy the other day that came up to me and he said, hey look, I keep hearing your ads. I'm going to give them a try. What's the number? I'm going to tell you right now, 501-222-8440. Look, there is absolutely no reason that you need to keep living with all this joint pain. If you've got hip pain, back pain, shoulder pain, knee pain, you owe it to yourself to go by for this free consultation to QC Kinetics. There's people all over Central Arkansas that are using QC Kinetics right now, and it's changing their life. It's giving them their life back. They use properties from your own body to heal your body. So there's no surgery, no downtime, and especially no drugs. Give them a call today for that free consultation. 501-222-8440. That's 501-222-8440. 501-222-8440.
This is David Dunn with Central Arkansas Truck and Trailer. Do you own or operate Max, Volvos, Freightliners, Kenworths, Peterbilts, or international trucks? We can offer you the same dealership level computer diagnostics with highly trained and professional mechanics without dealership wait times and cost. Whether you're a municipality, fleet, or small business with one truck, come see why our customers have made us the highest rated independent repair shop in Arkansas. Central Arkansas Truck and Trailer. Take exit 7 on I-440 or call 568-2185.
Arkansas state parks are your passport to explore everything the natural state has to offer, from our storied past to our scenic beauty. With unexpected escapes like Jacksonport State Park, you can get a unique look at our state's history. Each one of our 52 state parks offers something just a little bit different. So pick up your passport at any state park visitor center. Plan your trip at arkansasstateparks.com.
Brought to you by this station and the Arkansas Broadcasters Association.
At MNB, our reputation speaks for itself. We won't just tell you that we're the best, we'll prove it with our products, services, and commitment to the communities we serve. Technology is constantly changing, and there are more options than ever right at your fingertips. We'll always offer you the latest in technology, and we'll serve it up with great customer service. So when you bank with us, you know you're covered. You keep moving forward. At MNB, we've got your back. Check us out at mnbbank.com.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Take your yard up to the next level with the Caddy's Touch Landscaping. Josh Dickinson is a former PGA Tour caddy, and his landscape designs are inspired by some of the most beautiful golf courses around the world. Call Josh at 501-794-2770 for all of your landscaping needs. Flower beds a mess? Josh's crew can give your home the curb appeal you've always wanted. The Caddy's Touch Landscaping also installs French drains, retaining walls, and they'll even take care of your irrigation maintenance needs. A Caddy's Touch Landscaping. Call today, 501-794-2770.
There's only one place to stop for the best in meats in Central Arkansas. It's Hoggs Meat Market. Check out their monthly package deals of the best meats online at hogsmeatmarket.com. Hoggs Meat Market, the steak people. You're listening to Out of Bounds with John Nabors and Joe Franklin.
Jefferson off play action. Going to throw a little screen pass left side. Has completed the 5 into the end zone. Touchdown, Arkansas. Luke has from 11 yards out, and Arkansas is a PAT away from time.
On 103.7 The Buzz.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports betting app. Bet Saracen is as close to your cell phone. Just go to the App Store and download the Bet Saracen app or go to betsaracen.com. Double R props are posted for Arkansas at Florida. A.J. Green over 24.5 yards rushing and over 0.5 rushing touchdowns. And that's plus 175. K.J. Jefferson over 29.5 yards rushing. And you compare that with the defense getting over 2.5 sacks. That's plus 150. Cam Little over 1.5 field goals. And the longest being over 45.5 yards, plus 200. When you look at some of the other lines here, there's Thursday Night Football. Steelers are -3, 3-point favorite over the Titans. And over-under is 36.5. The game coming up in Frankfurt, Germany, the Dolphins and Chiefs. Chiefs are a 2.5-point favorite. The over-under is 51. Those are some of the odds that you can get on Bet Saracen, but you can get plenty on there where you can get some NBA action, combat sports, boxing, MMA, in-game prop bets. We talked about the double R props there, so it's all on Bet Saracen. They have everything and anything you want from a wagering standpoint. For the most up-to-date and accurate sports wagering info, you need to be on the Bet Saracen app. It's simple. Just go to the App Store and download the Bet Saracen app or go to betsaracen.com. Be sure to check out the video of how to play featuring Jancy Sheets.
It is a Trash Talk Thursday here on Out of Bounds. We have a lot of things that we got to hear from Sam Pittman on. Enter your Razor Hog update. So let's go ahead and hear what he has to say.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
Arkansas wins the national championship! The Arkansas Razorbacks have completed the dream season!
Hogs by 9!
engage! This is your Razor Hog Update on Out of Bounds, presented by True Service Community Federal Credit Union, where they offer new mortgage loans, refinancing, auto loans, and small business loans. Online at trueservice.net.
All right, so for your Razor Hog update, Sam Pittman had this to say as far as injuries and the health of the team, including Rocket Sanders.
We're healthy now. We've been hitting now. Like I say, Tuesday and Wednesday we're very, very physical. But I don't know how you play physical if you don't practice physical. I just don't know how. I think you have to, especially where we're at. We had to do that. The kids responded well, but the practices and the physicality and those things have been at high this week. Rockets practiced 3 days in a row. I think he's ready. I don't know, exactly what kind of shape he's in and all that, but we're going to find out. But he's ready, and obviously he's going back to his home state in Florida and those things, and he's looked good this week in practice. We limited him early, but he had a full practice today and looked good.
Also, Sam Pittman was talking about the Florida defense and some of the challenges that he could propose.
But they've got a really good defensive coordinator, and like I say, a lot of talent defensively. Secondary-wise, they can cover. Linebackers can run, and then they're just huge. I really like their two defensive ends. They could be a problem for us if we get in third and long a lot of times. We have a plan for that, but very good, their two defensive ends.
Also, when Sam Pittman was talking about KJ and the offense and how it's coming along, he feels like they're in a good spot.
He's handled it real well. We've gotten extra reps for Criswell as well. But he's handled it really well. We've gotten more reps for Jacoby, and I think we'll be ready at that position. But he's a professional. He's an older guy. He understands. That it's a people business, but it is a business. He understands all those things. Actually, we called him in on Sunday to sit down and talk to him. I called Jacoby and sat down and talked to him. We called all the quarterbacks, and he handled it really well and it just went to work. I think he's excited for Coach Guyton as well, and Kenny's coaching him now, so I think he's excited about that.
So going up against a team like Florida coming out of the bye week and some of the strategies that they'll have, maybe some new strategies, how they handle the Gators.
Really like what they do offensively. They're an edge team. They want to get the ball out on the edge, whether it be bubble screens, whether it be reverses, whether it be the running back, whether it be rolling at the quarterback on nakeds. They really going to stress the edge on us with their offense. Got two really good running backs. And then 1 and 3 at wide out can make you miss. I go back and we showed it to them, but I go back 4th and 11. They were against South Carolina, down 10, 4 minutes something left in the game. They threw a 3-yard pass on 4th and 11. The guy missed, got the first down, ended up scoring and winning the game after, come back, win the game. So they do have guys that we've got to swarm tackle, and we've got to do well on the outside. Defensively, they're huge. They got a guy who weighs 449 pounds. Now, he may be 450 today. I don't know, but let's say he's at 445. That's still pretty big old boy. And he can run. I mean, he's a really good player, and they've got a lot of exotics. They're multiple on defense. But I really like where we're at.
Also, and finally, maintaining the team morale is always very important when you have some changes happen. So how's Pittman and the team been handling it?
Yeah, I think we knew this stretch was coming up and all those things, so we did a lot of calling our players in and talking to them one-on-one. It's harder to lose people when they know that you love them, you care about them, and you're concerned about them in aspects of football and off the field and different things of that nature. So we had talked to our players quite a little bit, not necessarily about football, about life, and we wanted to do that so the kids would know that we care about them, we love them, and it is difficult. I mean, it's hard, but you're only as strong as a leader in the room, and I think we have some really good leadership in our room, and we're very, very positive with our kids, and we've got accountability, what we've got to get better at. We want to be truthful with them, but we also want them to know that we care. And to be perfectly honest with you, the biggest thing on that is a lot of times the coach quits. You know, he quits on the team at this point, and they start going out recruiting. You start thinking about who you're going to get next, how you're going to change the team. Well, you've got a team, coach the team, and change the team now, and then you can worry about the other at the end of the season. And so we want our kids to feel that.
Arkansas and Sam Pittman taking on Florida this Saturday in Gainesville. It'll be 11 a.m. Central Time when you'll hear kickoff right here on 103.7 The Buzz. You can also check out the Hog Wild Game Day show starting at 7 o'clock with Trey Shab and David Basil, and then the fifth quarter show following the IMG broadcast right here on 103.7 The Buzz. And hopefully it ends up being a lot better than what the Arkansas games have been going here recently, but should be an entertaining game none the least. And so, with that being said, we got to take a top-of-the-hour update. When we come back, Aaron Torres of FoxSports.com is going to join us, and Fox Sports Radio, as we'll talk to him about not only some basketball, some Bobby Knight, but about football, college football it is. And this Michigan story, is it as big of a deal as it continues to be made out to be? Or what do we think about that? We'll get to that and a lot more coming up in the third hour, so stay with us.
Roger Scott, I'm going to talk to you about Sigma Supply packaging products and how they think outside the box. Sigma Supply, they're problem solvers. Now, they've been helping business owners for years with their waste audit analysis program. They're going to come in, they're going to analyze your packaging and shipping and see if automation is what you need to cut costs. Call or text sales manager David Breitenberg with Sigma Supply, and you can schedule your waste audit analysis. Here's the number, 501-617-4600. Sigma Supply packaging products. If you're not using Sigma Supply, you got low-grade product, man.
Southern Bank presents Family Feud on 103.7 The Buzz. Tune in to Morning Mayhem on Tuesday mornings for your chance to play with Justin Moore, David, and Roger. Family Feud on Morning Mayhem brought to you by Southern Bank. Bankwithsouthern.com.
This is Pat Bradley for Whit Davis Lumber Plus. Whit Davis Lumber Company is your blueprint for success. Whether you're a professional contractor or just need a hand being handy, Whit Davis is your partner for getting the job done right. From quality materials to tools for projects inside and out, they understand how important quality is when it comes to your home. So, when you're in need of a lumberyard or hardware store, think of my friends over at Whit Davis. You can find them in Jacksonville, Cabot, Sherwood, and Greenbrier, or online at whitdavis.com.
Sports talk and entertainment.
I can't understand you food in your mouth.
That'll put a smile on your face.
I mean, serious, I can't understand a word you're saying.
KABZ, Little Rock. Buzz News with Channel 7's Cassandra Webb.
A new statue is unveiled honoring the life of the celebrated businessman, publisher, and Arkansas native John H. Johnson. Channel 7 was at the Delta Heritage Trail State Park in Johnson's hometown of Arkansas City for Wednesday's unveiling. Johnson is considered one of the most influential black publishers in history, the man behind the widely popular magazines Ebony and Jet. Johnson's family says the sculpture captures his strength and determination balanced with his warmth and humor. Johnson died in 2005 at the age of 87. The city of Maumelle is excited to announce the official groundbreaking ceremony for the Maumelle pickleball courts today. It's happening at 10 this morning at the construction site located at 100 Edgewood Drive behind the Jess Odom Community Center. The city of Maumelle is building 7 pickleball courts. The project is estimated to cost about $1 million, and the courts are expected to open in the spring of next year. From the Channel 7 newsroom, I'm Cassandra Webb.
Hi, I'm Trey Reed from the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission, inviting you to join me every Wednesday morning for the latest news from the great outdoors. It's brought to you by Arts Marine in North Little Rock, now under new ownership, but with the same familiar faces and incredible service you've known for years, plus the area's best selection of boating parts and supplies.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with Channel 7's Melinda Mayo.
We've got a little bit of a warming trend starting today, mostly sunny and 60 for a high this afternoon, and then tonight's low just drops down to 38, so not quite as chilly. Mid-60s expected on Friday and 70s this weekend. From the Channel 7 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Melinda Mayo.
Buy one, get one free at the Riverfront Steakhouse. This Thursday night, we're going to have prime rib, 12-ounce prime rib served with our great mashed potatoes. Buy one, get one free.
Join Fitz Hill, the Doctor of Football, each Thursday night at 7 for the West Rock Coffee Recruiting Intelligence Report. The Doctor of Football will keep you up to date with the latest recruiting analysis. Brought to you in part by Ortho Rehab, Express Airport Parking, Diamond Medical, Blue Train, and Authentic Manhood. Only on your fun and game station, 103.7 The Buzz.
Arkansas Brewskis is excited about their second location, and it's time to add to the team. Brewskis North is hiring servers, bartenders, cooks, and managers. To apply, drop by our downtown location and fill out an application. If you want to work in a fun, professional environment, this is for you. Brewskis North is hiring servers, bartenders, cooks, and managers. Apply in person at Brewskis Downtown. For more info, check us out online at brewskispubandgrub.com. Brewskis, your home for lunch, happy hour, and late night.
Chris Stapleton's All-American Roadshow, August 22nd at Simmons Bank Arena with Grace Potter and Alan Stone. On sale Friday, November 3rd, 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com.
Hi, neighbor. It's Garen with Shamrock Roofing. Fall is upon us. Don't go into the cold, wet winter months wondering if your roof will hold up till spring. Get peace of mind now. Visit shamrockroofer.com for a chance to win a new roof, free.
The Chase Ink Business Premier Card is made for people who make things happen, like me. I'm Sam, founder and CEO of Manifest, a product design company that makes everyday products designed smarter. I get 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more, plus unlimited 2% cash back on all other purchases, which helps us make more smart ideas into a brilliant reality.
The Ink Business Premier Card. Learn more at chase.com/business premier. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Account subject to credit approval. Restrictions and limitations apply. Cards are issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank. Any member FDIC.
Get big savings and big rewards during Pro-Vember at Lowe's. Right now, MVP's members earn 3 times the bonus points on DeWalt products and save $200 on a DeWalt sliding compound miter saw. Plus, earn 3 times the bonus points on Little Giant products and save $70 on a Little Giant multi-position 14-foot ladder. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. While supplies last, selection varies by location. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Valid through 11/22.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
See Dan Cook in North Little Rock, Steve Fisher in Stuttgart, or Jay Vandover in Little Rock.
Football fans, tailgate season is here, which means it's time to score touchdowns and savings for your vehicle. At All About Tire and Brake Tire Pros, we offer incredible deals and service like your daddy used to get, with the financing options that fit your budget. With our team by your side, you'll get MVP service along with the traction and confidence you need to stay on the road. Visit us online today at allabouttireandbrake.com. All About Tire and Brake Tire Pros. Love the drive.
You promised.
I took the garbage out.
No, I'm talking about all the work we need to get done around here.
I know. We need a new roof and we need replacement windows.
How about a new bathroom and some overdue remodeling?
And how are we supposed to pay for all that?
My sister said she called Remodeling Loans and they were able to find her certified contractors.
That's great. But how'd she get the money to pay for all that?
Remodeling Loans offered 0 interest for 60 months. They even have payment plans with 0 down and 0 deposit.
Looks like we're getting a home makeover.
Great. Now, if I only knew someone to call for a husband makeover.
Really?
Remodeling Loans is the #1 leader in home improvement financing. Call 800-921-1403 today for a no credit check, no risk approval. Get approved today and we'll match you with the best contractors in your area. And remember, no deposit financing is now available. Call 800-921-1403. 800-921-1403.
Live from the Hoggs Meat Market Studios, this is Out of Bounds.
The 1-2 pitch. Ground ball, base hit left field. Of course it's Corey Seager. It is always Seager. Breaks up the no-hitter to start the 7th. In the air to left center field. Gurriel's back. It is gone! Texas on the verge! It's hit! Texas Rangers win the World Series!
Yeah.
with John Nabors.
Every time you put a mic in my face, I'm going to say Arkansas.
And Joe Franklin.
We won't go in the shell. We're going to go in attack mode because that's what's required.
On 103.7 The Buzz.
Quit your BM, I still rock Mercedes funk. If I quit this season, I still be the greatest funk. My left stroke just went viral. Right stroke,
2 hours down, 1 hour to go. Appreciate everybody listening in on this beautiful day here in the great state of Arkansas. John Nabors, Joe Franklin, broadcasting live from the Hoggs Meat Market Studios with you today. And thank you as always for making us a part of your afternoon. This afternoon, it's been a great Trash Talk Thursday. So we've had a lot of things going on in the sports world we've been covering, and it was either at the craziness with Michigan football, also the World Series happening last night, and coming to an end with the Rangers winning, and also the passing of Bobby Knight. It's been a crazy-filled show, and we're going to talk more about that and everything that's going on with a guy that knows all when it comes to the world of sports. And it is Aaron Torres of Fox Sports Radio and the Aaron Torres Podcast, and he joins us right now on the phone lines. And Aaron, as always, man, we appreciate you joining us. How you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing well, guys. Yeah, no, I appreciate you having me. I apologize. I know I was supposed to be on with you last week. Got a little hectic, a little chaotic, but, as you said, John, there's certainly no shortage of things to talk about in the world of sports right now. It's a busy time, but sure does beat, June, July when there isn't as much to talk about. So.
Yeah, well, I know the dog park was really an important stuff for you, man. So,
it was.
Yeah.
We had a blast. There was a little Frenchie that was kind of harassing me literally at the moment. Like, I figured, I can kind of go in the back and, I'll keep myself and I'll bring my dog with me. But, my little girl was making friends. And, the one thing I will say, John, I know you have a dog. Like, you can't be the guy at the dog park that just ignores your dog and expects everybody else to watch him. So about 10 minutes before, there was no other dogs in the park. And I'm like, I can totally do this call, throw her the ball, we'll have a good time. And then sure enough, I don't know if you guys had teased it on the show or what, but all of a sudden, 10 minutes later, the dog park was bumping, and I couldn't step away. But no dog park today, all buzz, all the time, and I appreciate you guys helping.
Yeah, well, it's good to have you on regardless, man, because I know that we'll get to some of the other topics, but I'm curious because we did discuss this a little bit with the whole Michigan football deal, and I know you've been discussing this on your show and podcasts and everything with Connor Stallions and the developments that have come from it. This is definitely one of the most interesting college football stories I've seen in a while, but today it was reported that the Big Ten coaches are getting frustrated that the Big Ten's not doing anything about it. Like, it's just every day there's a new development and a new wrinkle. So where it stands right now, like, what do you make of this story, and what do you think ends up being the end result?
Yeah, so first of all, I agree. And, sometimes in our business, you don't know, are you overdoing it? Are you overselling stuff? I just find it to be absolutely fascinating because it is relatively unprecedented territory. We all agree that sign stealing happens. And, you first get the report of, maybe they attended a game or two in person. And then all of a sudden, like you said last week, John, it felt like every single day it was one story after another after another. But what I will also say is, I know a lot of, folks in Arkansas are familiar with my work. Many of them listen to my podcast. And this was something that I talked about on my show last week because, everybody's sitting there saying, it's no big deal. It's this and that. And, even if the NCAA investigates, like, you can't really do anything. And I had been asked, and I kind of looked into it, just called some people, does the Big Ten have precedent to do anything? And I said on my show a week ago, it was last Friday, I said, the Big Ten absolutely has precedent. And I said, I think there's two different variables. I said, the president, the commissioner is brand new. He just got hired, I think, July 1st. He's got a million things. They're bringing in four new schools next year. And I said, I don't think he wants anything to do with this. Like, I think he wants it to play out, whatever. But what I also said was, I guarantee he's going to get some internal pressure from some of these schools like, hey, you got to do something here because the Big Ten does have the precedent where, they can remove them from postseason competition or whatever. So I saw the report yesterday. I still think it's unlikely to happen. And I think for Michigan, the best thing that could possibly happen is they get back on the field. I mean, usually a bye week late in the year is a good thing, but I think for Michigan, I think not being on the field last week really hurt them because it just allowed this story to continue to snowball. So they get back on the field Saturday. I'll tell you this, if I was Michigan, I would run up the score to the best of my ability, show that Connor Stallions isn't the reason you're beating everybody. But there have certainly been a lot of layers to this, John, and the Big Ten one is a very interesting one because, as you said, the Big Ten could, in theory, step in here if they feel like stuff has been done. Whether they do that or not remains to be seen.
Aaron, what do you think is a realistic timeline that we could be looking at that something would be done? Because we know that the NCAA, their investigations take quite a while, but if we're talking about the Big Ten and talking about the conference here, that makes it a little bit different. So, as mentioned, that Michigan is in a great run right now, and so they could possibly go on to win a championship this year. So what's the realistic expectation that would be a timeline and something happening?
Well, the realistic expectation, I still think, Joe, is that the Big Ten would not get involved. And if the Big Ten doesn't get involved, then it's a standard NCAA investigation. And I do think this one could go a little bit quicker, only because if you read the Washington Post story that broke last week, essentially all this information came out from an internal investigation that had nothing to do with Connor Stallions. And so in theory, the information is more readily available than it would be in an investigation where you got to come to campus, interview people, all that stuff. With that said, though, we also know, or for people who do not know, the way that the process works is that the NCAA, once they do the investigation, they come to campus and then they file a report. If that's what the notice of allegations, everyone's heard of a notice of allegations, Michigan has 90 days to respond to that. So if the Big Ten doesn't get involved, then in theory, the NCAA could drop a notice of allegations today and still nothing would be done before the end of the season. And what I would also say is that's why it felt like there was some urgency from those Big Ten coaches yesterday of basically saying, like, guys, nothing's going to happen from the NCAA this season. Something has to be done now. Now, we could debate, should it happen, should it not happen? But, if the question that you asked me, Joe, was realistic time frame, and I still think it feels very unrealistic that anything happens in 2024 or 2023 this season, unless, of course, again, the Big Ten makes the relatively unprecedented move to make a move, even if the NCAA isn't willing to.
So since the timeline of this has been basically over the past 3 years, and it seems like more and more evidence is coming out against it, do you believe that this type of, I almost want to call it a heist, it seems like, but just this whole story had so much to do, and if not everything to do, with the success that Michigan's had? Because, as I'm sure you've seen the numbers, what they did, wins, losses, before the scandal started and after, is pretty different. So you think it had as big of an impact as what people believe?
John, I'll say this, and it's another thing I've said. I've said this literally since the scandal broke, when everyone said, it's no big deal, blah, 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 blah. What I've said is this, is Michigan was my preseason pick to win the national championship. I was saying 2 or 3 weeks before everybody that I believe Michigan's the best team in the country this season, and in a year where everyone's saying there's no great teams, I said, well, actually, just pay attention to Michigan. I bring all that up to say, John, this scandal has made me completely reevaluate everything. Like, is Michigan really the best team, or were they completely benefiting from information that nobody else had access to? Are they really the favorite? I just find it interesting that as the college football, playoff poll came out this week, I heard a lot of people saying stuff like, well, Michigan is clearly the best team, but they just don't have the resume to be number one. I said, well, are they clearly the best team? Like they're the best team because we know that they had somebody doing something that we don't think anybody else was doing. And so, I said this on another interview today, John and Joe, is I really think the most important thing for Michigan is to get back on the field and kick butt this weekend. Because I think if they go out and they beat Purdue 52-3, they play Purdue this weekend, for people who don't know. If they win 52-3, I believe, and I could be dead wrong, I believe a lot of this starts to quiet down. Because then you can have the Big Ten coaches yelling and screaming and complaining, but ultimately Michigan says, look, you guys suspended this Stallions guy, we kicked the crap out of Purdue. Let's say they go to Penn State next week and win 24-0. Then all of a sudden it's like, okay, come on, this guy really had nothing to do with anything. On the flip side, if it's 21-17 with Purdue with the ball with the chance to win late in the fourth quarter, then I think we all know what the conversation is going to be on Monday coming out of that game. And oh, by the way, and I also think it goes back to the conversations about the Big Ten, right? Like, you know, if Michigan starts winning games but they're really close, and all of a sudden, you know, it's 2 weeks from now, then the Big Ten has a different stance than they do today. If they continue to dominate, if they dominate without Connor Stallions, then I think it changes the narrative a little bit. So, first of all, it shows how interesting this story is that we've been talking about it for 10 minutes, and I'm happy to talk about it. I find it interesting. I just find, like, all the different angles so interesting. But I also bring it up to say that I truly believe in my heart of hearts, if Michigan wants to start to quiet this narrative down, go out and kick the crap out of Purdue. Because, like I said, if you win 24-17, 21-17, 21-13, and you look like you did 2 years ago in 2020 when the program was a mess and we thought Harbaugh had to go, I think it's only going to reignite this whole conversation going into next week.
Big games going on in college football this weekend. First of all, Aaron, what do you think of LSU-Bama? And then of the other big games, who's on upset alert?
Well, LSU-Bama, I mean, you guys have seen them both. I think it's so fascinating. It's just such a clash of styles. You know, first of all, I would add, like, I think both coaching staffs have done a great coaching job this year. You know, and I know it's Alabama, LSU. Nobody should be throwing a parade because they're good late in the year. But, you know, Brian Kelly, I was thinking about this, like, for years, I mean, he was the offensive line, run game, you know, whatever guy at Notre Dame. And now he has the most explosive offense in all of college football. And so for him to evolve this way, it's part of the reason why he came to LSU, was to coach guys like Jaden Daniels, Malik Nabors, et cetera. And then Nick Saban to kind of go back in time and say, you know what, I don't have a Bryce Young, I don't have a Mac Jones, I don't have a Tua, I've got to win differently. You know, I think that to me just speaks to two coaches that are doing really good coaching jobs to get the most out of the group that they have. As far as a pick, you know, I could see it going either way. I mean, I think the fact that the point spread is around Alabama as a 3-point home favorite, that usually means that Vegas thinks that these two teams are pretty evenly matched. I would lean Alabama at home. And then, Joe, you said upset alert, and I'll tell you, man, I could be crazy on this. I think USC is beating Washington this weekend. And everybody, you know, we all had the takes on Caleb Williams, should he shut it down? I don't think people realize if USC wins right now, if USC wins out, they are playing for the Pac-12 championship. Now, they'd have to beat Washington, they'd have to beat Oregon, they'd have to beat UCLA. I'm not saying it happens, but if they went out there playing for a Pac-12 championship, and I'll tell you this, you know, they went out, Caleb Williams is probably winning the Heisman Trophy because that means he beat Michael Penix and Bo Nix head-to-head. So a lot to play for. Washington isn't playing well. That's the game. I think USC, I watched a lot of that game last week. It was not pretty, but I actually thought they showed some pretty good fight in the second half. They were down double digits at halftime and rallied to win. I think USC pulls off the upset at home against Washington this week.
Speaking with Aaron Torres of Fox Sports Radio and the Aaron Torres podcast here on Out of Bounds. And Aaron, I also, maybe people are not really paying attention as much, but still, Bedlam is this weekend, and it's Oklahoma State, and we know it's always been a true rivalry, but Oklahoma's going to be joining the SEC next year. Oklahoma State will be staying in the Big 12, and it looks like both sides are not going to be playing Bedlam. So is this the last Bedlam we ever see this weekend, or do you think at some point they'll reconcile and make it work once again?
Well, I think at some point they'll reconcile, but I'll say this is, you know, I do believe in my heart of hearts, like, I think you can legitimately argue this will be the most hostile environment that we see anywhere in college football at any point this season. Because, like, you know, I live in Pac-12 country, right? And you look at the Pac-12, outside of Oregon State and Washington State, it's kind of like your last day of high school, right? Like everybody's kind of going their own direction. And everybody, you know, a lot of people kind of moved up in the world and whatever. The Oklahoma State situation, Oklahoma State got left for dead by Oklahoma. We can pretend that that's not what happened, but Oklahoma said, screw you guys, we're going to the SEC, and it's easy to forget now. a lot of people don't think the Big 12 was going to survive after that. And nobody really knew what the future of a school like Oklahoma State was. And so you can see where a Mike Gundy is so emotional, where a Mike Gundy is refusing to play this game going forward. So to answer your question, John, yeah, I think they'll play again at some point. I wouldn't be surprised if it isn't until after Mike Gundy ends up leaving college football altogether. We'll see how many years he has left. But you just talk about a rivalry where there's always hostility, but now there is so much more because not just that Oklahoma's leaving, but because of how it happened. Yeah, that's going to be a wild, wild atmosphere Saturday afternoon in Stillwater.
There's been a lot of interest in Georgia's season altogether because they're going for 3 straight championships, but a lot of focus on their stretch run, and that starts this weekend against Missouri. So what do you think as far as that matchup, and then Missouri, the chances that Missouri pulls the upset?
Well, what I would say is it is interesting, and we're all guilty of this, but you go back to, June, July, August as we're all starting to get ready for college football, and of course the narrative was like, Georgia, they got a cakewalk to the chest. They're not even going to be challenged until the SEC championship game. Now it's like you look and it's like, oh my goodness, they got, we're talking about 3 ranked teams here, at least 3 teams that are currently ranked in the next 3 weeks, and I would expect all 3 of those teams to be ranked opponents. Good news is you get 2 at home, but I'll give Missouri credit. I actually think they're pretty good. I know you guys don't like them over there and all that, but Drinkwitz is a guy that I've never really been all that impressed by. And I think he's done a heck of a job. I don't think Brady Cook gets enough respect, and I get it. It's Missouri. There's other good quarterbacks in this league, but he's playing well. That passing game is playing well. And I do think from the Georgia perspective, I think there's only so many times Kirby Smart can go to the well of nobody believes in us. I think last week without Brock Bowers, he kind of played it up, and, people were doubting you. I don't think that's something that can sustain. So I guess the long and the short of this is I do think Georgia probably does lose a regular season game one time over the next 3 weeks. I don't know that I'm ready to strongly predict which one it will be. But I think they'll be okay, and I think they're going to go to Atlanta with a chance to go to the college football playoff. But this is a really, really, really tough 3-game stretch, 3 straight weeks starting with Missouri this week.
Any chance Arkansas knocks off Florida in the Swamp this weekend?
Yeah, I think absolutely. Listen, you guys know that program so much better than I do. But it was clear the Dan Enos thing wasn't working. And, it's one where I can't say that I'm going to pick it. But, look, Dan Enos, it was not working. And you guys have spent a lot of time talking about it, certainly more than I have. And so I bring it up because, we'll see what Kenny Guyton is like calling plays. I'm not a scheme expert, but you would hope that he would kind of go back to some of the success that Kendall Briles had when he was the offensive coordinator. And so I absolutely think they can. Can I predict it? Of course I can't predict it, but I think the offense will look better. I think the team will be rested. The defense has been excellent all year for the most part. So, I absolutely think they can. I just don't know what to realistically expect from that offense given not just even like the chaos of the last couple of weeks, but most importantly, like I just don't even know that we can realistically know what to expect to see. But hey, that's probably good news because that means that Billy Napier and his staff probably won't know what to expect to see either.
All right, before we let you get out of here, we just got a few minutes left with you, AT, but, Bobby Knight and the passing of him, and just what do you think about when you think of Bobby Knight and the impact that he had on the game of basketball in general?
Yeah, John, I'm about your age, man, and it's funny because what I would say is I think a lot of people our age and younger, we either didn't see him at all or we certainly didn't see him at his peak. And then we saw him on TV when he was just as grumpy and angry as he was as a coach. And so I think there's a lot of people probably under the age of 40 that have no real recollection of Bobby Knight at his peak. But what I've told people for the last 24 hours, get your hands on a copy of the book, A Season on the Brink, okay? So John Feinstein, author, followed him around for a year kind of at his apex. And you can kind of see in that book, the brilliance of this guy, how he motivated a team. Yes, he crossed the line. Yes, there's vulgar language, but also how that team came together, how they improved, how they evolved over the year. And that, book really gave me a newfound appreciation and respect for who that guy was. I've read it 2 or 3 times since then. If anybody's going on a vacation over the Christmas break or whatever, grab a copy, read it. I think it'll give you a newfound appreciation because this guy was a genius, and he was one of the best to ever do it. And obviously, it's a sad passing, but he lived a full life, and obviously the people that knew him best, including Coach Muss, apparently, I saw his tweet this morning, really seemed to revere him. And at the end of the day, if the people that know you best love you the most, that's a fulfilling life, guys. So.
Well, I may be remiss, but real quick, since you brought it up, Eric Musselman, Razorback basketball team, they beat Purdue in an exhibition. So how does this team go 4-0?
Well, it starts, they say every good run to a national championship starts with a big Halloween night. So you got to tell me, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you what was it like going trick-or-treating with the guys. I mean, come on, give me the real analysis. I don't want the fake analysis. I want the real stuff.
Yeah, I was like Steve Buscemi in that meme where it's like, hello, my fellow kids. Like, it's like I felt like so out of place, and I was just like, what am I doing here? But no, it was pretty entertaining to say the least, and I think the players got a really big kick out of just walking around and trick-or-treating.
So let me, real quick, I know you guys probably got to go. So nobody in the neighborhood knew. There's just, little 12-year-old kids dressed as, fairy godmothers, and then there's a bunch of 6'8", 6'9" guys and John Nabors walking up to the door right after. Is that how it went down?
Yeah, pretty much. There was a lot of families, and they had parents in golf carts that were driving their kids around and whatnot, and then some of the kids came up and asked if they were on the basketball team, and they said, I think it was Brazil. Somebody said, no, we're volleyball, and they walked away disappointed. Just to make some fun with them, but no, it was definitely like they went all out. But the neighborhood had some fun with it. Of course, Muss had some fun with it, and it was so cold they didn't stay out for very long. But yeah, it was a pretty good thing for content at least.
I was going to say nobody knows content like John Nabors and Eric Musselman. You guys are like two of the Mount Rushmore people on that. I'm probably up there somewhere as well, but made for good content. I only saw a couple clips, but it looked like a good time, and Sorry that you were the weird old guy, John, but for the rest of us, it seemed very enjoyable. So.
Hey, listen, I'll take being the old weird guy if it means that I get to hang out at Eric Musselman's house and have some really great pasta, because that's really what it was all about. And yeah, it was good time. So, but listen, Aaron, as always, dude, we appreciate you joining us. Great stuff. Enjoy the weekend of college football and all the sports, man. I know we'll be catching up with you soon.
All right, thanks, fellas. Have a great weekend. Thank you.
All right, again, that was Aaron Torres of Fox Sports Radio, as well as the Aaron Torres podcast, joining us here on Out of Bounds during a Trash Talk Thursday. We're going to take another break. When we come back, we'll get to more of your phone calls and messages. Got to get to some of those. And some updated headlines. Keep it moving. We'll have 3 and Out coming up as well. And it's Out of Bounds on Trash Talk Thursday, and more of it is happening next. True Service Community Federal Credit Union presents your Razor Hog update during Out of Bounds. Get one of the lowest rates in the nation with a True Service Visa Platinum card online at trueservice.net.
This is SportsCenter.
The college basketball world lost a legendary coach yesterday as Bob Knight passed away at the age of 83. Knight started coaching in 1965 at Army when he was only 24 years old. He's mostly remembered for his time at Indiana, where he coached from 1971 to 2000. He won 3 national championships in that time in 1976, 1981, and 1987. He compiled a 662 and 239 record at Indiana. He finished his career at Texas Tech, where he coached from 2001 to 2008. He took the Red Raiders to 4 NCAA tournaments and 1 Sweet 16. As a head coach overall, he had a record of 902 wins and 371 losses. He's 6th all-time in wins in college basketball. I'm Christian Weaver with the Buzz Radio Network.
If you're looking for the best deal on a pre-owned vehicle, you'll find it here in Hot Springs on Central Avenue at Motorsports Authority, here with Wild Bill and Magic Mark. These are some fantastic deals, guys.
Hey, Magic Mark, tell us about some of these special rigs you got sitting here.
We've got cars for every taste. Cars, trucks, SUVs. This is the best selection of inventory we've had in the past 2 years. More for your trade? Yes. Payments for every budget? Yes.
Online at MSAstore.com. We'll see you at Motorsports Authority.
What are you waiting for?
At Arvest Bank, we're ready to help you tie down a great rate without getting tied down. With Arvest's 14-month Rate Boost CD, you get a guaranteed rate of 5.25 annual percentage yield that starts earning interest on day one. Plus unexpected flexibility to fit your needs. Even better, you can request a one-time boost if rates go higher. Now that's helpful. Open an account today at arvest.com/flexible savings or at any of our 200-plus locations. Member FDIC, $1,000 minimum to open.
This is the Pigskin Preacher, bringing you the word. The Tampa Bay Rays have put a pretty good product on the field recently, making the MLB playoffs 9 times in the last 16 seasons. Just too bad there's no one there to see it. Hosting Game 1 against the Texas Rangers, there were only 19,704 fans in attendance for this playoff game. That's the lowest number of fans for a postseason game since 1919. Fan support in Tampa Bay is perennially lousy, raising the question of baseball even having a future there. It's fitting that the teams that are still left in the playoffs actually have fans who care and show up. Doublebees cares about you, helping you when you're in a hurry, but still deserve a quality product at a fair price. You can even sign up for a rewards card to save even more money. Doublebees. It's where you gas it, grab it, and go. That's Doublebees.
Hi, I'm Rick Pennington of Lions Drug. We have great news. Generic Cialis is now available at a huge savings. We have Tadalafil, the FDA-approved generic of Cialis, in a 20-milligram tablet at a savings of up to 80%. We have the 5-milligram daily tablets for less than $3 a pill. Lions Drug continues to be your go-to pharmacy for men's health. What are you waiting for? Call us today at 844-676-2247 or go to our website at lionsdrug.com.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
See Shelter Agent Kyle Stone in Pine Bluff, Grant Westmoreland in Sheridan, or Sam Eklund in Star City.
Kevin Kugler here from Westwood One. Join Ross Tucker and me for Thursday Night Football to start NFL Week 9 when the Steelers host the Titans. Can Derrick Henry and Tennessee pick up a second straight win as they face T.J. Watt and the Pittsburgh defense? Or will it be the home team Steelers that get their offense on track to improve to 5-3 on the season? Find out on Thursday Night Football.
Right here on 103.7 The Buzz.
Score early this NFL season with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. That's $150 if your team wins. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. The app is so easy to use, there's a wide range of betting options, spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. So visit FanDuel.com/win and kick off the NFL season. That's FanDuel.com/win. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
Must be 21 plus in President State where lawful to wager. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino LLC. First online real money wager only $5 pregame moneyline wager required. First online real money wager only $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG in Colorado, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Virginia. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342 in Arizona, 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. 1-800-9-WITH-IT in Indiana, 1-800-522-4700 visit KSGamblingHelp.com in Kansas. 1-877-770-STOP in Louisiana. Visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net in West Virginia or call 1-800-522-4700 in Wyoming. Help is here. Visit gamblinghelpma.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York.
Make it the event that everyone wants to attend by getting your meat for tailgates, parties, or just family get-togethers at Hoggs Meat Market. Hoggs Meat Market, the steak people. You're listening to Out of Bounds with John Nabors and Joe Franklin.
Third down, here comes LSU. KJ flushed, rolling right, keeps his eyes downfield, throwing deep, got Has at the 20, to the 15, to the 10, 5, touchdown Arkansas. There's your play. 59 yards to Luke Has.
On 103.7 The Buzz.
Sun is hot and that old clock is moving slow, and so am I.
It's Trash Talk Thursday here on Out of Bounds, but one thing we'll never talk trash about, of course, is Gwatney Chevrolet with their incredible deals each and every month. We know with the weather getting a little bit cooler and hunting season being right here, you got to get in on the trucks, the Silverados that they have in stock, plenty of them to go around, and with some great deals happening right now, Gwatney Chevrolet in Jacksonville. If you just head over there to 1301 TP White Drive in Jacksonville, you'll be welcomed with some of the best deals, like 1.9% APR on 2023 Chevy Silverados, or you can also get $2,000 total cash allowance. That's right, on brand new 2023 Chevy Silverados. They still have the 2024 Equinoxes in stock at 1.9% APR. Great deals there. And they have a great amount of used vehicles to choose from. So if you're going that route, they got you covered. And when you go there, not only getting some great award-winning sales service, but when you bring your vehicle back in to get some routine maintenance done, they have award-winning service staff that's going to be able to help you out there too. So no matter what it is, Gwatney Chevrolet is where you need to be. And they have a great website too at GwatneyChevrolet.com, where if you want to shop them online, you can do it that way as well. I mean, I prefer going in and having a little in-person meeting with some of the Gwatney Chevrolet people because they're always going to treat you right. But if you go to their website, you can shop them that way as well. So no matter what it is when it comes to your vehicle needs, especially with all things Chevrolet, they are Arkansas's #1 Chevy dealer. It's Gwatney Chevrolet and GwatneyChevrolet.com. And it's a Trash Talk Thursday here on Out of Bounds. And we'll have some other headlines and stories to get you hyped up and excited for here in just a little bit. But real quick, let's get Frank in Little Rock, who's on the phone. What's up, Frank?
Hello. I heard y'all talking about Wally Hall and Bobby Knight a minute ago. Did anybody tell you what happened on that story?
Yeah, we got a few people texting in and letting us know what exactly happened. So, yeah, we got updated on it.
Okay, because, Wally was the first time I'd ever heard somebody call somebody, talking about Bobby Knight. If you knew him at all, you didn't attack Bobby Knight. If you did, he's going to attack back.
Yeah, he just the type that if you ever pushed him enough, he was always going to make sure he got the last word in.
There you go. And with Wally wrote a pretty scathing article, and Bobby Knight he was coming in and speaking at a charity event. And he gets the paper that morning, and the whole time he was here, some of the splits he talked, used about Wally were pretty,
Oh, yeah, no, it was pretty clear of exactly how he felt. No, yeah, there was no question about it.
Yeah, he was very clear.
Yeah, well, hey, listen, it was a great story. I know Wally thinks it's a great story, and for all that happened, and it's amazing that it's still remembered here to this day. But yeah, pretty iconic.
Well, yeah, I got, I went to the event, but I remember the day it was on the radio. When Bobby spoke about Arkansas and sport and where you got your information, he said, "I feel sorry because y'all got the blah, 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 blah."
Yeah, no, I remember he went off. But I will say, though, too, Frank, it was kind of a cool thing that I had a picture of it, and I still can't find it to this day. But when I was a student at the University of Arkansas, Arkansas basketball, I forgot who they played, but it was on a Saturday, and it was when Bob Knight was actually a commentator for ESPN. And he was calling the game. He was there, but also Nolan Richardson was there in attendance. And right in front of me is when him and Bobby Knight came and embraced and hugged each other and talked for a good while. And I was like, man, that is a lot of wins between those two coaches. So, it was pretty cool to see, of course, that story being there too, but also when Bob Knight came to Fayetteville for that game and seeing those two coaches embrace two different styled guys, but two dudes who appreciated the greatness that they had. That was also a pretty cool moment.
Yeah, that's true. Well, anyway, thank you.
All right, appreciate it, Frank. Thanks for calling in. Yeah, it drives me crazy, Joe. I wish I still had that picture because that was a pretty iconic picture because, so many of those coaches that were legendary in basketball. I know we had the passing of Dean Smith and the passing now of Bobby Knight and And you have coaches that like Coach K that have, of course, getting up there in years, and same thing with Coach Nolan Richardson. And there's so many of them that are going to be, remembered forever. But I think it's great that they have found respect, because that's what the thing is about coaches. Coaches will always have respect for other coaches in a sense. Like, some of them may not like them, may disagree with them or whatnot, but usually all-time greats respect other all-time greats, and especially in the coaching community and in college basketball. So that was always cool because, again, Bobby Knight and Nolan Richardson never played against each other, never coached against each other, but they did respect each other for their own respective games too.
Oh, there's always that within the coaching community. They know how hard that these coaches work and what it takes to achieve a certain level of championship-type winning teams and coaches, and just the commitment and the goals that you have to put in to be able to accomplish all that. Yeah, they, especially not only the coaches just as a group, but the ones that have won championships, then they understand just exactly what it takes to get to that level.
Do you think anybody will ever pass? Like, I think Coach K now has the most wins of a men's college basketball coach. Do you think anyone will ever pass? Because I feel like the days of those coaches are done.
Because, they're not coaching as long, especially in one place. And it's not that Coach K coached in one place, but he's mainly known for coaching in one place. But just the longevity altogether, it's not there anymore.
Yeah, and also some of these guys, like with Bob Knight, I believe that he took over coaching at Army West Point at like 24. He's the head coach at 24 years old. So I could be wrong, but it doesn't look like a lot of college basketball programs are hiring coaches at the age of 24, and to get them to that point to where they're winning enough, and then, like you said, staying there for longevity. If I see because like Tom Izzo, I think is still him, and like Bill Self, I believe, are like the longest tenured coaches at their respective schools now, still going on. And at some point in time, they're going to retire and move on. But after that, man, Calipari, will he still be at Kentucky? He's been there for a long time, but will he still be there? Does he move on? It's kind of sad. Like, you're not going to have these all-time, long-tenured winning coaches just being there. It's just unfortunate. But, I mean, it happens, I guess, in the changing of the sport and changing of the guard.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
It's the story of sports altogether.
Yeah. Because right now in the NFL, even, it's because Mike Tomlin, or Bill Belichick, then Mike Tomlin?
Yeah.
Is most tenure?
Two. Yep. And then Andy Reid should be close.
Yeah. But Andy Reid and, Belichick, you think that they're going to be closer to retirement, because Mike Tomlin's still fairly young.
51.
Yeah, so he's still got time.
So before the season started, they always talk to him about how long he's been doing it, and that he did start young, and he's entering his 17th season. And he said, well, he realizes that is coming to he's had more years behind him than he has in front of him. And they said, well, Coach, are you trying to break something? He's like, yeah, I'm breaking the fact that I'm not going to do 17 more. So he's done 17 so far. He said he's not going to do 34 when it comes to an end.
Yeah. See, that's why I like Mike Tomlin, is because of all that stuff. It just, I think one of his famous quotes was just like, we do not care. And it's like, those things, he's like, he's got a goal in mind. He's got what he wants to do. He's not going to overstay it or anything. He's just, he's just very direct to the point of his goal that he wants and everything.
Think about that. 17 more would put him at an age below where some of these other coaches are, like Belichick.
Oh, my gosh,
He'd
you're
be
right.
68, and Belichick is 71. Pete Carroll is 72.
That's crazy. Yeah, if he doubles his tenure, he's still younger than some of those coaches. That's wild. But, hey, we got 3 and Out coming up next year on Out of Bounds, and a very special guest going to be joining us, too. You won't want to miss it, so stay tuned.
When you get on a bike, you got to watch out for gravel, potholes, and knucklehead drivers.
But after a crash, here's what you got to watch out for. Insurance adjusters. They can be tough on injured bikers.
They might try to pin the blame on you or pay you less than you deserve.
So if you've been injured, here's what you should do.
Call the lawyers who look out for bikers. That's Rainwater, Hull, and Sexton. Motorcycle crash? Call Rainwater, Hull, and Sexton. Anywhere in the state, dial 888-8888. Non-lawyer spokesperson.
Responsible attorneys Michael Rainwater and Bob Sexton.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Wes Moore. Coming up Friday in the Zone, we'll get you set for a big weekend in the NFL and college football. Tom Murphy joins us at 11:10. We'll get his thoughts on Arkansas, Florida. Can the Razorbacks finally win in the swamp? And we got Clint Sterner at 10:30. Talk a little NFL with him. Big game between the Cowboys and Eagles. Philip Mark, birthdays, entertainment, and a whole lot more coming up Friday in the Zone. It's where sports and entertainment come crashing together.
David Dunn here with Central Arkansas Truck and Trailer. We're the area's largest and highest rated independent diesel repair facility for all makes and models, from transmissions and brakes to suspensions and engine repair. If you're tired of high dealership prices and long wait times, come see what family-owned and locally operated really means. Expert technicians and the latest computer diagnostics will get your equipment back on the road fast. Take the England exit on I-440 to Central Arkansas Truck and Trailer. 568-2185. That's Central Arkansas Truck and Trailer.
RJ Hawk here with Chris Roberts from Southern Bank. And Chris, I know interest rates are high right now. That's what everybody's talking about. But if you're thinking about a project, whether it be a commercial project or you're wanting to build a house, now's the time to come talk to you about what those future plans may look like.
You know, RJ, no matter what the business environment may be, we're always there to sit down with our customers and talk about their future plans and what's going on with their businesses.
And that's one thing about Southern Bank is they're a community bank. They want to be your partner.
Partnering with our customers is a key to how we do business.
And Chris, you know, we talk about those interest rates being high, but the one good news out of that is deposit rates.
We have some great CD and checking account rates. Just give us a call and see what one of our personal bankers can do for you.
If you want more information about interest rates or those deposit rates that we just talked about, call Chris and his team today at 501-424-0900 or go online at bankwithsouthern.com. Southern Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
From sales, service, parts, and rental equipment, River Valley Tractor does it all and does it right. Your leading Kubota dealer is right around the corner with 5 locations throughout Central Arkansas. River Valley Tractor, serving Central Arkansas in Bryant, Sherwood, Conway, Russellville, and Pine Bluff. Work smarter this year, not harder, with River Valley Tractor. Online at rivervalleytractor.com. River Valley Tractor, closer than you think.
There's nothing quite like outdoor living, and at Razorback Camper Sales, we've been bringing the camping lifestyle to families for over 50 years. We're Arkansas's oldest family-owned RV dealer with the best parts and service department in the state. Razorback Camper Sales has everything you need for travel trailers, fifth wheels, and pop-ups. Find out why our customers are always happy campers. Come see us in Hot Springs or online at razorbackcampersales.com.
Jackalope Cycling is passionate about the Arkansas outdoors. To help you enjoy this beautiful state, Jackalope offers an array of bike rentals to get you on the trails.
What about fly fishing from a bicycle?
You can't do that, but Jackalope also offers fly rods, reels, waders, fly fishing accessories, outdoor and camping gear.
Yeah, it'll be tough riding a bicycle in waders.
But you can still enjoy the Arkansas outdoors with Jackalope Cycling in Russellville or jackalopecycling.com.
Get only the best customer service and the best selection of meats at Hoggs Meat Market, where they have sliced boar head deli meats and cheeses. Hoggs Meat Market, the steak people.
Kane is in the building.
Their time is done. It's over.
Over? Did you say over?
Nonsense. I've not yet begun to defile myself.
Call Kenny Loggins, because you're in the danger zone. I play real sports, not trying to be the best at exercising.
It's time for 3 and Out. It's been 3 hours, and we are...
Boom. Out of here.
All right, it is time for 3 and Out. A few headlines, a few storylines, a few things that we got to dive into. But first, folks, I got to tell you about Max Prairie Wings and how it's deer season. Going to be here before you know it, and since it's fast approaching and you need to have a deer stand, well, if you need one of those, Max Prairie Wings can have you covered. But they also got a ground blind instead that you can check out at Max Prairie Wings in Stuttgart, and they have the ground blind solution. The all-new Rhino 180 see-through blind takes ground blind hunting to a whole new level, and this unique 3-way mesh system prevents wild game from seeing in while allowing you, the hunter, to see out in crystal clear without any obstruction. Rhino 180 see-through blind start just $125, and the ever-so-popular Ameristep Brick House blind is just $99. It's also nice to see what's going on in your stand. So start seeing that action, and as it's happening, even when you're not in the woods with the Tacticam Reveal X Pro Trail camera, it's real-time photos. Text them right to your cell phone, and it's just $149 at Max Prairie Wings. So check them out today by heading down to Stuttgart to Max Prairie Wings, or you can shop them online at maxpw.com. It's Max Prairie Wings, your one-stop shop for all of your hunting needs. Happy hunting. Now, we know it is 3 and Out, but we also have a very special guest joining us here in the Hoggs Meat Market Studios, and it is Bryce and all. What's going on, man?
What's up, John? I guess I'm making my 3rd appearance, 3 of 4 today here on the station. Luckily, I don't have a show tonight, so I don't have to come back. But
now, hey, this is the show within the show, Bryce.
Yeah, exactly, Joe. If you've been listening today, you've heard we have, we value you guys' partnership with Bud Light and Golden Eagle and the Buzz, and we do things. We sponsor the barbecue, BuzzBQ.
Mm-hmm.
We do both golf tournaments. We also do the pregame show on Saturday mornings with David and Trey. We're one of the presenting sponsors on that. And we also do the bracket NCAA bracket in the spring with basketball. Well, we had an opportunity about 3 years ago. 3 years ago, we partnered, Anheuser-Busch partnered with the University of Arkansas as becoming the official I don't want to say official beer sponsor. We have to be careful.
Oh, yeah.
Proud
you can't say that. Yeah.
Proud supporter of the Arkansas Athletics. And with that, we get to take their trademarks, their logos, and do things with approval. And somebody at Anheuser-Busch came up with the idea of creating a Razorback shoe, which I'm going to show here. And you
showed
can
it on the
see.
camera.
Yeah, there you go, John. And when we were brainstorming ideas, like, what are we going to do with this? Somebody at the office came up with the idea, like, why don't we take them to the radio station and just outfit all the DJs? Everybody, I don't know, you guys call yourself DJs anymore.
Personalities.
Yeah, personalities.
It's worse things we've been called.
Exactly. Personalities throughout the day, and kind of a thank you to you guys for what y'all do for us and our partnership. And luckily, Anheuser-Busch is giving away a few of these. If you go to Golden Eagle Beer on Facebook or Instagram, there are links there giving away. But I want a quick story. I know you're in a little bit of a rush here.
No, we got time, man. You're good.
The power of radio. If there's any advertisers out there that want to advertise, come advertise with the Buzz, because I was on maybe a total of 20 minutes this morning between 2 shows. The amount of phone calls and text that I have gotten, that coworkers have gotten, we even got calls to the office, Joe, of people going, "Hey, where can I get those shoes?" I guess they Googled Golden Eagle and found the telephone number.
Guess so, yeah.
So we huddled up at the office in between this morning and today. I reached out to this is an individual in Pennsylvania that does all the customizations. I believe we have it here. What is right there? What is that? Relevant Customs.
Yes, Relevant Customs.
They do a lot of customizations, and I reached out through email and was like, "Man, what's the possibility of us getting some more?" Because we all ordered these through Anheuser-Busch,
right?
So I thought I'd get back. Well, no way. Well, he kicks back and he's like, "Absolutely. How many do you want? What do you want?"
Whoa!
So we came up with an idea. Now, you can go enter to win a pair through the Facebook link. That takes you to a national program where you'll enter through there. But we're going to probably in January, if you keep up with our Facebook page, Golden Eagle Beer, or Instagram, we're going to put the details out, and then we'll come join it with you guys as well, the details. I think we're going to order 10 pair and give away locally.
Beautiful.
So all those people that have called today want to know where they can get a pair. Just stay tuned to the Buzz, because and look at our Facebook page, because somewhere in January we're going to announce a giveaway and do about 10 pairs of these shoes, and we won't order them until after you win them, because obviously we don't want to order 10 size 12s and you don't wear a size 12, you're not getting them.
Right.
We'll want them to be custom to whoever gets them.
Right.
So it's just a little thank you from us.
We thank you.
Well,
man.
What's funny is, if you see the tagline, kick off to the season with Bud Light, this initially started in football season, but we got these about a week ago. So instead of football season, we're going to say tip off to basketball season.
Yeah, perfect.
Convert from football shoes to basketball shoes. Because,
beautiful.
Coach Musselman, your buddy,
oh, yeah.
he loves wearing different types of shoes, and Nike too.
Yeah.
I mean, Arkansas is a Nike school, so you couldn't have picked anything better.
Well, it was funny because when I was doing the show at the basketball facility on Tuesday, I was in the room in the conference room. I couldn't put the video camera on it because Musk said, "Do not show what's on that whiteboard." I was like, "Don't worry, I won't."
Game plan.
His game plans, but it was also he had his shoes that he had over the years and had collected. And it was like a Moses Moody custom shoe and like all of that stuff, and it was incredible.
Well,
and a lot of them look just like this one.
Golden Eagles here in Central Arkansas. We service Pulaski and Saline counties, but we're hoping maybe the Fayetteville distributor may have possibly ordered him a pair. I'm not confirmed. I do not know.
Right.
That's just me speaking. Hopefully they may have ordered him a pair, and maybe it'd be awesome if we could see these on the sidelines one game this year.
It's exactly what he wears. He wears AF1s.
Yeah, and I feel like we're going to be on TV a lot, by the way.
I think so too. Yeah. Usually they put good teams on TV.
Exactly.
Yeah. Will this help them win? If I wear these, will it help them win games?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to make
wear them all
that
the time.
guarantee here. So anyway, we just wanted to bring these up and give them to you guys. We think we love our partnership with you guys and everything y'all do for us. So
this is awesome.
Yeah, I really appreciate it, Bryce. These are beautiful shoes.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of like, do you want to wear them or do you want to put them on the shelf? Because it's a good looking shoe.
Yeah,
so
it's like when you get the Christmas presents, but you don't want to unwrap them because it's like, man, it's just so beautifully wrapped. It's like you don't want to touch it. It's the same thing here. But no, these are awesome, and I can't wait to. I'll probably end up wearing them because I'm like, man, I'm going to get the urge. I'm like, I want to see what these feel like and walk around with them. And
at the end of the day, they're shoes. They're made to be worn.
Yeah. I'll wear them to the Razorback football game against Auburn. Hopefully
you know what? Wins. And since you said that, I'm going to give a plug here real quick if y'all don't mind.
Yeah.
Bud Light, let me look it up right quick. Before the Auburn game, they've been doing a football tour or concert, and mainly SEC, but they have gone, I believe they went to maybe Ohio State, a couple of games up north. But they're doing a pregame tailgate party with a concert the day of the Auburn game up in Fayetteville. So,
excellent.
Nice.
If you're listening out there, go. I think it's called the Bud Light Tailgate, I believe.
Hey.
I mean, that's pretty simple.
Yeah, you just go and find that.
They've got a couple performers, nationally known, but not like superstar type.
Yeah. Well,
definitely
let us promote it, and we'll get that taken care of for you. But, Bryce, we really appreciate it, man. Stay tuned, everybody. Drive Time's coming up next.
This is Pat Bradley for Alcoa Community Federal Credit Union. Hunting season has arrived in Arkansas. Alcoa